Well, immediately my mind goes to Chipper Jones, who was 10. But if it's a Black Jones, Black Jones is 6.
Okay. Black Jones is
White
6.
Jones is 10.
I got you.
Are you saying that they're 3/5?
No fucking way. No fucking way. Oh.
Wow. What the fuck was that, Big T?
There is no fucking way.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday. It's August 15th, and we are brought to you today by our great friends over at Cars.com. We've got the employee parking spot sponsored by Cars.com. Did KB win it?
I honestly don't know.
I think he won the parking spot. I don't think he has a car.
No.
So we're just showing off the parking spot every
He's
day.
getting a balloon, what is it called? Artist, I think, to come and fill the spot.
With
He said-
balloons?
yeah, like that makes balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, balloon artist. Sure.
Yeah. I don't know what they're
Every day
called.
I drive past that parking spot, and I wish I could park there.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, it is claimed by Cars.com. The Cars.com parking spot is so helpful if you have a car and you're not trying to battle for a spot. But the Cars.com Your Garage feature is probably even better. I love how I can track my car's value and see how much it's going to be worth in 2 months. I've been thinking maybe getting something different next year. Who knows? Not going to sell the El Camino. I did look for El Caminos on Cars.com. It was super helpful in my El Camino search. And I got a beautiful car that's running smoothly and has been, knock on wood, for the last month. Cars.com is the best. KB does have the most prized parking spot at Barstool, besides Jerry, who sometimes parks in a spot that he's not allowed to park in. But we can all grab some very valuable insights into our car's value with Cars.com Your Garage feature. Check out the Your Garage feature. You can track your car's value. You can know when it's going to be the best time for you to sell it. The Barstool employee parking garage is frustrating, especially when Hank doesn't clearly label his poles. But Cars.com's new feature, Your Garage, is anything but frustrating. Track that car's value so you know exactly what to expect when you're ready to sell. Track your car's value on Cars.com. All right, we're back. It's Macrodosing. Excited to be back here. We're going to talk about the Salem Witch Trials today. Salem Witch Trials. There's a lot of stuff that I thought about this going into it that I learned that I was just full of shit. Like a lot of urban legends around the witch trials. Turns out they were good. No, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I thought that I knew about it, and I thought I sounded smart, but turns out I didn't really know that much about it. So we'll get into all that in just a little bit. Where do we want to start today? Because there's a lot to discuss. You want to start talking about the biggest interview maybe of all time? I think 350 billion people watched it.
That's a lot of people.
The Donald Trump Elon Musk interview on X, the Everything app. It's all happening on X.
45 minutes late, but it does happen on X.
It does happen on X. So Elon initially claimed that there was a massive DDoS attack on the space, on the Twitter space.
Yeah. So I tried to join it, and that's what everybody was saying. I couldn't join. What is DDoS? What does that mean?
DDoS is when there's a lot of directed internet traffic at a certain website, and it can cause it to go down. So sometimes there'll be like these random DDoS attacks where I don't know who like comes up with them, like groups of hackers, I guess. I don't know if they're state sponsored, not state sponsored, whatever the case may be, but a group of hackers directs a shitload of internet traffic to a website that's incapable of handling that much traffic. So it just crashes everything. And so you'll see it sometimes, like MasterCard will have a DDoS attack against it. MasterCard will go down, Bank of America, something like that. So
I believe that's what happened. Do you remember, was it last summer, maybe the summer before? It was right after Elon bought Twitter, and he fired everybody. So they had like no engineering staff.
Yep.
And I think they had something like that. And that's when do you remember it was going to be you could limit how many tweets you could view in a day, and people flipped out?
Yeah.
And it was because the traffic on the website like couldn't handle, so they were like, just make it to where people can only view so many tweets. And then they said it was going to be like a permanent thing, and it lasted like a day.
Yeah, wasn't there was another DDoS attack like 2 weeks ago maybe? I forget. It was in the news. But Elon was claiming that the same thing was happening just specifically for the Donald Trump interview, which I read a lot of people who are experts in this sort of thing, and they said that there's no chance that it was a DDoS attack just on a Twitter space. It was just they had some technical difficulties getting it up. But they did eventually get the space up, and they talked for like 2 hours. Trump sounded a little strange. He sounded different, didn't he?
That's what people were saying. I didn't join in till late, and he sounded normal to me.
His voice was higher pitched than I thought it would be, and he had a lisp at some times. So maybe Trump clone during the interview.
Maybe.
I don't know, but he was talking about the war in Russia and how he told Putin, don't do it. There'll be consequences. Putin said, no way. I said, way. And then Putin didn't do it while Trump was in office. They just talked for a long time. Just the traffic that they reported afterwards. I've seen like Elon is claiming that X did a very interesting thing when Elon took over, and I think we've talked about it on the show. But you could see it happen in real time, which is they got rid of like the video view counter, and now they just have the tweet view counter. And the tweet view counter is exactly the same thing that Facebook did back in like 2016 when they were trying to get everybody to pivot to video, where they were saying, hey, everyone that scrolls past this video, we're counting that as a view. And so Facebook made a lot of money having a bunch of companies just put stuff exclusively on Facebook.com. And then after, 6-8 months, advertisers caught on to what was happening. And they're like, well, these numbers aren't exactly real. Turns out that Facebook was built on a house of cards. And then they took all their money out of selling ads on Facebook Live. Twitter X did the exact same thing with their video count, where it's like if you scroll past it, they're counting that as a view. And so I think that's what Elon's doing with the space. I mean, it was definitely like a very popular thing, and a lot of people watched it, but they're claiming like, 50 million people watched it.
Way more than that, I think, because when I tuned in, you could see it said like 1.2 million people listening, but then there was what you're talking about, there was I think 60. And right after I started listening, Trump goes, you've had like 60 million people listen to this. It's very impressive, Elon. That's very amazing. I was like, dude, why are you saying it's 60 million?
Yeah.
But then I realized that's what he was looking at.
Yeah. If you're putting out content, you always there will be people that point at that views count, and that's not the real amount of views. It's like, if you going back to the video of Arian Foster on, I forget what podcast it was, but he was talking about his time in the NFL and how they used to script everything out. If you look at the views on that, that's not the real amount of people that have watched the video. That's the amount of people that have seen that come up in their feed.
Sounds like a hater to me.
Yeah, I'm being a hater for sure.
Between 7:47 and 10:47 p.m. Eastern, Donald Trump's space post received 73 million views. During the same period, there were 4 million posts about Elon Musk and President Trump's conversation, generating a total of 998 million views. So
this has objectively ruined society. This obsession with view count and how many people and follow, this has objectively ruined society. It's infuriating to me how much we collectively give a fuck about this first week album sales, shit like that. It's just ruined society.
It's the Mr. Beast school of logic. Just views at all costs. Or the stream.
Gross,
man, some of the most popular streamers out there, I feel like you go down kind of the same path if you're a super popular streamer that got started out, whether on YouTube or on Twitch, where you start out, you do prank videos to just see how many people you can get to watch do a prank. And that inevitably leads you to like doing a prank that goes too far. And then you just try to do shit that's crazier and crazier to get the most views. Like that one dude, he stayed up for how many hours in a row? It was like 200 hours in a row. This guy just stayed awake on a stream.
Whoa.
It sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it sounds like you're driving yourself insane. It sounds like that'll fuck your brain up for the rest of your life. But yeah, some streamer did a live stream where he was up for 200.
Is that possible?
I guess
it's like
so.
8 days. Yeah, I think the world record is like 11, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let me see.
I can't, on the occasions in my life where I have pulled an all-nighter, either intentionally or not, I can't imagine doing that a second day in a row.
No.
Without, like, collapsing.
Yeah, what's the longest you've ever gone without sleeping?
36 hours.
Yeah, like 11 days
like
is the
that.
world record. Longest I've gone is probably like a day and some change. I don't do well with no sleep.
Yeah.
It was probably when last summer I went to London and my flight was at 7 p.m., landing at 7 a.m. And I took like Advil PM, drank a couple vodka Sprites. I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. Just couldn't. I can't sleep on a plane. Just couldn't do it. So I just sat there the whole time, just on my phone. Then we land at 7 a.m., go drop our stuff off at the hotel and go do stuff all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then that night I slept from like 6 o'clock to like 9 the next morning. And then I was good to go.
That's a good sleep right there, though.
But so I stayed up from the previous morning to like 6 p.m. the next day.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And doing that, imagine for 8 days.
I can't even fathom it.
I feel like that would do it like irreversible damage to your
have to.
brain, right?
No, it does. It does irreversible damage to your brain. I think you could like really fuck yourself up.
Yeah. So maybe we just found out a new fantasy football punishment right here. Stay up for 9 days.
Did you see one? I saw one the other day. The guy has to be locked in a room for 24 hours with the Shabuzi song
On repeat?
Yeah, the whole time.
I did not see that.
What's
It's
the
a banger.
Shabuzi?
It's a remix of now
Well,
I forget.
it's a new song, but
correct.
but
It
it's
samples. What's the?
It's everybody in the club getting tipsy, but it's
it's
everybody
tipsy.
at the bar getting tipsy.
And it's like a country version. It's a good song to hear once.
Baby want a Birkin. Why the
Oh, I think
hell
that's how
I
it
work
is.
so hard? Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
They know
Me
me.
and Jack Daniels got a history. There's
It's
a party
a
downtown.
good listen
That's
once,
what
maybe
it is.
twice.
Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Yeah.
He has impeccable locks, bro. His shit, I think those are wicks. That shit is fire.
Yeah. He's milking that song too. I respect it.
It's a nice country rap combo.
Yeah, I like that song. I remember hearing that on the on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a good song. But that would drive me insane. What song could you listen to the most? Like back to back to back to back?
I don't know that there's any.
It'd have to be a
there's few.
long song, right?
Yeah, there's a few of them I could do.
For 24 hours?
Oh yeah, dog. The not sleeping would get me more than the song because I do that shit. I am a habitual repeat song repeater.
What would be the worst song to listen to back to back to back for 24 hours?
What's the John Mulaney joke?
Crazy Frog?
No. Oh, the John Mulaney joke is, oh god,
It's not unusual. No,
Yeah.
that's the one they put in there. That's the I'm butchering this, but he played some song in a Waffle House.
in the Salt and Pepper Diner in Chicago.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Like 18 times in a row.
I do that occasionally at
Touch tunes.
bars that I'm not at. Yeah, on Touch Tunes. I'll drone strike at Touch Tunes and I'll play usually Rammstein.
That's how you know you've got money, when you can just 18 songs in a row on the touch.
Well, I mean that's probably $18.
No, the inflation has gotten to touch tunes.
Has it?
Oh yeah.
Big T, it's What's New Pussycat.
Yep, that's it. And that is arguably the answer to your question.
I think it'd be something like a heavy metal, because
Oh, yeah.
you got to be in the mood for heavy. Well, this is just me anyway. I got to be in the mood for heavy. Like I don't mind heavy metal, but like if you're not in the mood for it, it could be like annoying. It could alter my mood. I could get angry if I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then on repeat, I might harm myself.
Down with the Sickness would be bad. Oh, Mambo number 5.
Oh, good one.
That would be a tough one to listen to back to back to back. Ah!
Yeah, I might turn into serial killers.
Tequila.
Yep, that would drive you insane.
Just knowing that it's coming.
Mm-hmm. My Humps. Fergie sing the national anthem.
Oh,
That's maybe the answer.
let's play some basketball.
Yeah.
She said that shit at the end. Like I killed that shit, though.
Or the who did the national anthem at the MLB All-Star game this
Oh,
year?
yeah, but she went to rehab.
Yeah, because she said she was drunk.
She was drunk during it, yeah. I hope that if she does have a problem, I hope that she gets treatment. I hope she comes out the other end. Maybe next year she comes back. She does great. I wish nothing but the best. Also, she might have just been drunk.
Does being drunk affect your singing that much?
Yeah, it would. It
You
could.
think?
Yeah, but not everybody that's done something stupid while drunk is an alcoholic. I think I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if she really does have a problem. I hope that she's addressing it, and I don't want to like look down on her at all for that. But there's also a chance that maybe she just got drunk and did something stupid.
I think she might have just sang really poorly and then said, "Oh, I actually need to go to rehab. I have a huge problem."
I was drunk. Yeah. That would be next level. That's stolen valor, actually.
Bad karma.
It's true.
Yeah, for claiming that you're drunk when you're not. What do we want to get into here, Big T? Anything else from the Trump-Elon interview?
It was
Any big takeaways?
I didn't hear the first hour or so, but it was really boring to me. There was nothing in there that I was like, that's really Trump. Elon just kept talking about like things that Trump clearly didn't understand, and Trump just goes, "Yeah, absolutely, yep." And Elon was talking about like renewable energy sources and technology stuff and all this different stuff, and Trump just very clearly had no clue what he was talking about.
Yeah. One thing I will give Trump credit for, he outflanked Kamala on the whole no tax on tips thing. It's a very popular thing. And
that's her first concrete policy proposal she's come out with.
And she had to do it because he did it. He said it first. So she's like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that too. But it's sad that that's what it took for her to like actually put in a good policy that people will like.
Did you see the CBS News headlines with those two?
Okay, so we're playing the screenshot game now. There's been a ton of articles written about both. You can find one that looks good for one person, bad for the other.
But when you do that, you should look at the same publication.
Yes, but I'm saying...
Like if it was a CBS News and an NBC that you were contrasting, that'd be one thing.
Right, but do you know that those are the only two articles that they've written about that?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
But you can look at those and you don't see any...
No, there definitely is. It's a completely different framing of the issue.
I don't know. What are y'all talking about?
When Trump a couple weeks ago proposed not taxing tips, the CBS News headline was like, Trump's no tax on tips proposal would cost $150 billion or something. And then when Kamala said the same thing, the headline, I forget exactly what it said, but it was like, this is a great idea, basically.
Oh.
So I think when Trump came out with it, they wrote a story saying this is Trump proposes no tax on tips. And then after that, they were diving into it, and they wrote another article saying, here's what it would cost.
So here are the headlines. Former President Donald Trump's vow to stop taxing tips would cost the federal government up to $250 billion over 10 years, according to a nonpartisan watchdog group. And then a week later, Vice President Kamala Harris is rolling out a new policy position saying she'll fight to end taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure you could find an article from CBS when Trump initially came out with the no tax on tips thing, saying Donald Trump proposes ending taxes on tips. That article that you talked about sounds like it was a follow-up article after they did math and then had like a I don't know what the name of the organization was.
That could be possible.
But an organization looked after it. Now, I'm not saying that there's...
Have they done that for Kamala then?
Well, it's the same policy.
Sure. So then
Yeah.
why only release it for him?
Because Trump did it first.
But you see what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but like playing the headline game, I know that things are framed different ways in different organizations, and there's definitely slants and biases and stuff. The screenshot game is out of control these days.
Did you see Colbert's CNN thing?
I did see that, yeah.
That was awesome.
He was interviewing a lady from CNN and then said CNN is fair and objective, and the audience laughed.
Yeah, and for Colbert's audience to laugh at that, that gave me a little bit of hope, honestly.
Did it?
Yeah.
There are people on CNN that are good. You can't make the argument like for an entire organization. Like just there are people that are good, I think, on Fox News too.
Yeah, there are good people at every network, but the organization as a whole does have an ideological bent to it.
Yeah, they do.
They,
Arian, you disagree?
they have like conservatives on there now, like because Trump kind of ruined their whole brand. They strategically put conservatives.
They
on
bring
there.
one or two on, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they have them on there, so it's like they try to be, balanced. But I mean, it's a left leaning. It's like if you came out with news, it'd be a right leaning news organization. This is what it would be.
Yeah, I agree. I think all of them have a bend one way or the other.
Yeah, but like Fox, this is why Fox is so bothersome, is because they pretend to be news, or it might have been just a show. But one of a couple of those shows like pretend to be news, but like when it was held to like actual, you have to be accountable for the shit that you say in court. They were like, we're just an entertainment program.
But if you asked everybody that works at MSNBC and CNN too, they would say they're like unbiased journalists. And they would do the same thing if they were ever sued.
No, like this happened.
I know.
Like, no, I don't think they would say that we're an entertainment company. Like, they would say we're reporting the news. Now, they may get shit wrong every now and then, but I think that's very different than Fox. Fox is horrible with that.
My favorite was when they used to have Hannity and Combs. Remember that show? So it was this is where Hannity got his start. It was Sean Hannity and then Alan Combs. And Alan Combs was a liberal and Sean Hannity obviously conservative. And they would just argue about everything. And Alan Combs was like the stereotypical, you couldn't design him in a lab to be more of a like a wimpy lib that, you know, like if you ask the average Fox News viewer, what do you think liberals are like this is who you got. He was just there to be a punching dummy for Sean Hannity. So every segment would just be like, okay, debate this issue. And then Combs would be like, oh, I don't know, Sean. Let's wait and see what the data says on that. And then Sean Hannity just being like, I'm a red-blooded American male. It was some of the funniest segments on television, just watching this guy get the shit kicked out of him. And he was very much put there just to fill that role. And goddamn, did he do a good job of it. He was perfect for it.
I didn't catch that one. No.
Remember Crossfire?
Crossfire, yep.
That was Tucker, right?
Tucker was on Crossfire, yeah. I think that he was like, I don't think he was ever a Democrat, but he was very much like center at some points on Crossfire. That show sucked too.
He was always right.
He had the bow tie. I remember that.
Yeah.
That show sucked. It was just people yelling at each other. That's
Did
really
you
what
see,
TV is.
Jon Stewart's appearance on that? That shit was hilarious.
He was like, I'm begging you, stop.
Yeah, he was like, y'all are ruining the like, it was hilarious, dog. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah. I mean, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's all about chasing views.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you say. If you get people to watch you, they will put you on the air, and then other people will start to think like you think and echo your opinions because you got a lot of views. That's how it works.
Yeah, there's no remedy either. Like, we're just gonna spiral, and we're gonna eat ourselves. I have no more hope for humanity. I'm officially a pessimist, and now I just do shit to enjoy the day, make sure my kids are straight. I don't have any hope.
There you go. That's nice.
That's kind of morbid.
But it's football season, Arian.
Yeah, I'll enjoy shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm done with the rest of the shit. I don't care.
Bread and circus. Yeah, bring it on. Speaking of getting views, we had a little clip that made some traction yesterday. I was wondering if maybe we should address that right off the bat. Talk about college football season, October 12th, weddings, whether or not you should attend a sibling's wedding during college football season.
Y'all can talk about whatever you want. I'm done engaging in that discourse because it was a good reminder of how dumb most people are. And I'm.
Well, I missed this. I don't think I was online or on the same line you guys were. What
I missed it too because I don't get notifications of anything on social media, so I don't. But then, like, I had people texting me that I hadn't talked to in years about, and apparently it went very viral.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, y'all are welcome.
Thank you, Big T.
Thank you.
My back hurts.
Thank you, Big T. Thank you for carrying this show.
Are you saying people didn't realize you were joking, or?
Yeah, I think people who were
I don't think you were joking.
Wait, were you joking? I don't think you were.
If my sister was getting married, I would obviously be there. You have to be borderline brain dead to think that was being like dead serious.
I thought you were serious, bro.
I went to a wedding on a college football Saturday last year for someone who is way less than my sister.
But it wasn't October 12th.
Sure. Yeah. Like, and people on Twitter are being like people are so mad. It's crazy.
This seemed personal. This one guy, Red Dead Fred, tweeted out, I cannot, and there was no quote or anything. They didn't quote tweet it. They weren't replying to a tweet. This is just a tweet that he put out. I cannot stand the no weddings during football season crowd anymore. Grow up. You're 26.
Yeah, that guy also, he had another tweet.
Are you 26?
I'm 27. He
let's get your facts straight. I think he was.
No, he is.
I think he is.
Let's get your facts straight, Fred.
Hold on, do you know this dude?
No.
That's funny as shit, dog.
That guy's an Indiana fan, which I think says a lot about you wouldn't understand the college football of it all.
Kurt Signetti, great coach.
But Josh Pate is on my side, which if Josh Pate and God are for you, who can be against you?
What does Josh Pate say?
Oh, he's had a lot of tweets about it, but he said I don't have a single friend I love more than October 12th this year, point blank.
October 12th is good.
Yeah. So with JP on my side, I feel very confident in my my stance.
You cannot fall.
Exactly.
No, I have gone to weddings during big college football slates, and I've made do. I watch on my phone. Usually you end up getting a buddy. That's the counterpoint to this, Big T. Sometimes pressure makes diamonds. I think RG3 said that initially. But you go to a wedding on a weekend like this, and you end up making friends with somebody you would have never met in your life, and you bond over your shared love of college football. You get your phone out, he gets his phone out, and then you just hang out and you slam beers and you sit in the corner table and then you watch the games on your phone, and then you've got a friend, probably your friend for life.
But if you're gonna do that, just bring an iPad, bro. Like, don't do the small phone. Get your tablet.
Yeah, get a tab. Bring your laptop. There's got to be somebody that's going to be doing a fantasy draft during a wedding this year.
Oh God. Wait, well, I also got some texts from women we work with, and one of them.
Sick brag.
Yeah, shout out me for knowing women we work with. One of them said, actually, I think she might have tweeted this. She's like, it's worse to have the phone propped up at the wedding, like, than to miss it. She's like, I would rather you not come than have your phone propped up at my wedding and not even pay attention to what you're there for.
Okay,
well, now you have to pick one.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with that. I think it's perfectly fine if you go to the wedding, probably not during the ceremony, but during the reception.
Yeah.
If you have your cell phone out and you're watching the game on your phone, I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You
I
think?
agree.
I think it can't be so noticeable. Like you can't have it like, you guys can't see me, but you can't have it like propped up like this and you are seriously just staring at your phone.
Watch me. I'll do it.
What kind of
Don't do that at my wedding.
What kind of egotistical person you have to be to think that, like,
You see what I'm saying now?
yeah, like, it's just like, dog. I'm
maybe
here.
I'm an
I'm here.
egomaniac.
I have to stare at you, and you have to gauge my level of interest with sincerity before you appreciate my presence. That's crazy. You're doing too much.
I agree.
Mad Dog, would you be?
I'm here, dog.
Would you?
I gotta get on a plane. I gotta book a hotel. I gotta fly somewhere. I gotta go to the thing. I gotta go to the reception. I have to go all that shit. And you mad because I'm watching something on my phone? Come on, dog.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I won't go to your wedding thing, because I will go to your wedding.
Thank you.
I love weddings.
You're a wedding guy.
I love love.
I'm gonna pull up to your wedding too.
And it's I will say though, if I go to a wedding and I'm at a table during the reception and I'm watching on my phone, and maybe I'm not like by myself in a corner just looking at my phone, ignoring everything, but we've got people around us, other people are watching too, I think that's totally fine. I think I should be allowed to do that. I shouldn't have to.
I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
You know what? Fuck it.
I'm not going to arrest you.
It sounds like you want to.
Let's call their bluff. If all the fellas there that would rather be watching football just stare at the bride and cheer after everything she does, I think she changes her tune. I bet she changes her tune.
I would love for people to just be cheering for me constantly at my
everything you do, you drink a glass, everybody goes crazy.
Yeah,
that should be hilarious.
Sounds awesome.
Listen, I'm gonna pay attention during the toasts, at least with one ear.
Yeah.
And I'll raise a glass. I'll clap after the first dance. I'll clap after the father-daughter dance. I'll clap after every speech when the best man gets up there and the maid of honor gets up there. I'll clap. But
some booze.
God damn it. I love dancing. Dancing's fun at a wedding. Yeah. But when the band starts playing, if there's a game on, I might just stay at the table with my buddy that I met. Look at you. Now you're bringing people together. Now two of your friends that have never met are becoming great friends at the table because of your love. And isn't that a great gift?
It is. I will say it makes it a little bit better. Like, don't do it. I'll say, if you want to do it during the dancing, that's a little bit better. Don't do it during, like, the speeches, stuff, like when you're getting served dinner. That feels like you're...
But I feel like who's gonna notice?
I'm gonna do it when I'm getting served
phone.
dinner. I'm gonna do it.
I bet more people than you would think.
When they're bringing the phone out, I'm watching. Or when they're bringing the dinner out, I'm watching.
I don't think the phone at the wedding is a big deal.
Am I allowed to? Am I allowed to check my phone at your wedding, Maddie?
Yeah. Well, honestly, this is
that
all
would
just
be the
leading,
same thing. I
exactly.
think.
But this is all leading. I can't have a fall wedding and invite you guys. in however many years I get married.
I just told you I
do
would
whatever you want.
I would be happy to attend,
I
but
want you guys. I want everyone locked in.
Maddie is getting married in North Korea.
Kim Jong Conroy. We've got what we're gonna turn into over here eventually is like Greg Schiano in football practice, where you go into a wedding and you have to put your phone into a locker, and no one gets their phone out until the wedding's over.
Yeah, it's like a live taping.
Yeah.
Show.
It's like
you're
you're
gonna
going to
Dancing
SNL.
with the Stars.
You're gonna give those like metal bags out that they give out at comedy clubs, where you put your phone in there and you have to seal it.
Totally.
And then when you leave, you can open it up.
Yeah.
I meet a auntie at your wedding. I can't even get a number. She has to write it down like we're in fucking.
No, she wouldn't do that because I imagine you want people taking videos and posting stuff from the wedding. It just can't be used for what other people
Oh,
want.
interesting. How are they going to get the hashtag out there?
Exactly.
Yeah. How are you gonna get that?
There's only me-related content today.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
What you'll have to do is download an app that restricts what you can do on your phone. You can only use Instagram and Snapchat.
Yep.
You can't access any other apps.
Yep.
And the camera.
You're going to have Covenant Eyes, and it's going to disable all streaming services.
Yeah. Maybe I want it to be private. Maybe I don't want anything on social media. I just want whoever's there in that room with me locked in.
I don't think that's the case.
Can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't know. I will say Arian saying like I did all of this just to come to your wedding. I changes my tune a little bit.
Yeah, people travel for your wedding. They're there for you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be there unless they cared about you. So your presence is a present. Watch whatever you want.
The
me getting on a
online
plane for you is very
Special.
That's true.
bro. I don't go places, dog. I'm a
I
hermit.
know.
the online wedding discourse in the last 48 hours has been insane. Between that and, did you see the video of the guy who, like, the fakest video of all time, of the guy who said his wedding cost $200,000.
Yeah.
And they were charging people $450 a ticket. You had to buy a ticket to go.
Yeah.
And nobody was going.
Mm-hmm.
The fakest video I've ever seen in my entire life. And people were getting mad about it.
They were
like,
furious. Like, how dare this guy charge $450 for a wedding?
Which, if it was real, sure.
That's fair, yeah.
Like, it again, I can't emphasize this enough. The fakest video I have ever seen.
It's a good idea for a video, though.
Yeah, no, great. That guy's brilliant.
Fake. There's some other stuff in the news I want to talk about. This was an interesting story. Did you guys hear about the controversy at a Disney restaurant?
Yeah, I'm very into this.
So there was I believe she was a doctor at NYU, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she went to a Disney restaurant. I think it was like the Irish Disney restaurant at one of the resorts.
It was at Disney Springs, which is like the like shopping area.
Okay.
I don't know what restaurant it was.
Okay, so this lady had an allergy either to peanuts, dairy, or maybe both. And she told the restaurant, okay, these are my allergies. By the way, if you have those allergies, God bless you, because it must suck to go anywhere. I was thinking about that. Every meal you sit down at a restaurant, you're just putting your entire life into that kitchen's hands. And if you know enough people that have worked in kitchens, you know that they're not always, shall we say, like on top of things. So you sit down and you're like, okay, if you're telling me there's no peanut products, I'm going to trust you. Let's eat. So apparently there were peanut and dairy products in her meal. She was served. She went into shock. She died, unfortunately. And
God damn.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And now Disney is trying to get the lawsuit against them dismissed. You know how Disney's trying to get it dismissed? They're saying that when she signed up for her Disney Plus subscription and acknowledged the terms of service,
Shut up.
she agreed that she would not go to court against them for anything and that all matters would be held in arbitration. So they're saying this can't be a lawsuit. We're going to have to go to arbitration for it because you checked that box.
And the husband is only suing for $50,000, which I feel like Disney.
What?
Disney could give them $100,000 to be like, we're so sorry, take double,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't notice at all.
No.
Yeah,
I feel like that guy could have sued for $3 million.
at least, especially if she made it clear that she had a peanut allergy. Yeah. So the Disney Plus agreement, you've essentially signed your life over to Disney.
That's so insane. But those are never, the terms of service things are never enforceable.
Because they're too long
Yeah.
and reasonable people, most people don't read them.
Like they always get, anytime there's a lawsuit, they're like, well, you actually signed up for this. Like most of the time, they're like, well, that doesn't actually, they're not enforceable.
Yeah, I just clicked the thing because I wanted to watch the thing.
Right.
You gave me a button and said, click this, and then you'll be able to do what you want to do.
I bet he ends up getting a lot more than 50 grand.
I think you probably will. Because like,
Why only 50 grand? Is it like trying to cover funeral expenses?
Yeah, but I assume he was trying to be like not an asshole about it.
the fact that they are even making this argument, I feel like the judge is going to see that and be like,
Yeah.
screw you guys.
Yeah, they cost themselves a lot more money.
Yeah. Imagine how many terms of service agreements do you think you sign up for?
Thousands.
All of them.
Like per year? I would imagine I clicked a little box.
2 or 3 a week.
Yeah.
So let's say 150 in a year.
Yeah, I think that's probably on the low side too.
Yeah, maybe.
I click a lot of boxes. I do.
I mean, it's everything you do now. They have their own.
Everyone's got a box. Like you waive all your rights away because you're clicking on this box. I feel it's probably closer to 800, 1,000 maybe per year.
1,000?
Yeah, every time you want to go to a certain website or watch a certain thing, you have to like agree to their terms of service. It's everywhere.
I bet I've done more than 1,000 total. But in a year, that's crazy.
I'm gonna start keeping track.
Okay.
And we'll see. And so that would be your full-time job, is just reading terms of service agreements before you did anything. If I wanted to turn my stereo on in my house, I have an app. I would have to like sign my life away.
And then you come across something you don't like in it. Now what do you do?
Just not use the service?
Which would be everything.
Then you're a second-class citizen?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was I think we may have talked about it a while back, but that I think it was a documentary, that Terms of Service documentary. I think it was on Netflix, maybe. Really good documentary about how they fuck you over and how they steal your data.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really dope.
Your shit gets sold all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Like they sell it to other companies, and the rabbit hole goes deep.
Data brokers, man.
And that was before TikTok. TikTok's doing shit with it you can't even imagine.
China. Is TikTok going to go away or not? Can someone tell me?
It'll never go away.
Yeah.
Because wasn't that already... That was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to happen like 6 years ago, and then it didn't happen, and then it was supposed to happen a year ago.
Because they said straight up, they're like, we're not divesting it or whatever. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we're going to get rid of it for real this time.
I think they tried to play hardball with TikTok, and TikTok was like, our algorithm is worth more than what we would have to give away.
Well, and China forbid them from doing that.
From selling to a different company?
Because any company from China is beholden to the Chinese government.
Yeah.
So even if TikTok wanted to, China told them no, which should tell you everything you need to know about TikTok. That being said, I will continue using it a lot. But yeah, like you
got to get the boomer dooms in.
Oh, love the Boom family. I watched AJ's live for about 20 minutes yesterday.
What was he doing?
The more I watch them, the more I hate these motherfuckers.
He was just reading comments going boom. And yeah, it was so stupid.
We talked about it on Part of My Take a little bit on Wednesday, and Hank and Big Cat were explaining the boomer doom concept in the family. And the more that they talked about it, the less they liked it. Like I know Big Cat likes the kid, and then he kept talking about it, and he was like, yeah, and this is weird. Now I'm saying it out loud. I guess it's not that cool.
You think we could get AJ and Big Justice on?
I would love to talk to him, yeah.
Should I put out?
Big Justice.
Oh, they'd come on.
Yeah,
You
Big
think?
Justice.
Yeah.
They might be too big for us.
I don't know.
What if we went to Costco with AJ and Big Justice?
Okay, now you're talking.
One of my favorite places.
I'm not doing that, bro. You got that.
Costco is great.
Give me, you, AJ, and Big Justice. Everybody gets $500. I don't know who's paying for this, but everybody gets $500. Whoever comes back with the coolest shit wins.
I like that.
And then everybody enjoys a chicken bake and a double chunk chocolate cookie.
I like that a lot. One of my favorite things to do at Costco is to walk in and not have my card ready and then wait for the person to be like, "Excuse me, sir." And then I'm like, "Got it." And it's black.
Oh, do you have the VIP?
Executive membership? Yes, I have the executive
I've looked into
membership.
it. It just doesn't seem like I need it.
I'll be honest. I'm paying the extra money just so I can have the executive card.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $50 a year or something.
Yeah, it's not that much of a difference, but it's black, so it looks like a black.
It does
card.
look sick.
What's the difference?
It's black.
You get like 1% cash back, I think, and like, so I forget it's if you go to Costco all the time, if you have like 5 kids, it's probably worth it.
Oh yeah,
but
I think free shipping maybe on some stuff too.
yeah, I don't need it.
So
But it would be
I'm not a
cool to have.
Costco member. I just never got into it. But like people that are Costco members, it's like y'all care about this shit. What am I missing, bro?
It's very high quality stuff, and you get it for cheap, and you get a lot of it. So if you buy toilet paper, if you got kids, you go to Costco once a month, and you get the biggest fucking thing of toilet paper they have, and then you're just set. You don't have to worry about going back to the store.
So it's just bulk. They sell stuff in bulk.
Yeah.
Bro, but they got everything you could ever imagine. Like name something. Anything in the-
Jesus.
Anything you could buy.
They got a bunch of stuff with Jesus on it. They got hoodies. They got meat. They got anything.
Grills,
Grills,
Pools.
chairs, couches.
hearing aids. I think they're the #1 seller of hearing aids in the United States.
Love that.
Really good Kirkland signature alcohol.
Yeah,
Golf
their alcohol.
balls, golf clubs.
Their alcohol was rated as one of the top, or at least their vodka. It's
Yeah.
always rated as like a top 3 vodka, and it's cheap as hell, and it's big.
It's huge.
Well, I'll take your word for it, man.
Next
It sounds
time
like
when
an
you're
amazing
here
place.
when you're here next month, we'll go to Costco.
Let's do it, man. Me and you. I like what except we should have somebody random judge that shit. We both get $500 and whoever comes back with the coolest shit.
We should.
wins.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be great. Like Arian is going to be stuck in this office. Wait, can we say that?
Yeah, they've said that he's doing it.
Okay. Like Arian's going to be stuck in this office for literally a whole week, and then we reacclimate him to the real world by bringing him to Costco.
How are you feeling
Yeah, it's gonna be
about
crazy.
surviving?
I have not really thought about it until it's brought up, like on this show. But I don't know what to expect. 'Cause I still haven't watched the first one, so I before I do it, I'm gonna watch the first one just to get the vibe check. But yeah, I'm not. So I'm not allowed to leave the office. We really staying in the office for the whole.
You are literally
long as you're in it.
sleeping. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
should
man.
watch the last season because PFT is in it, and you can see like PFT well enough to know that like his demeanor changed throughout the show.
Yeah, you get into the game and it consumes you. I was staying up all night making flowcharts of like if I do this, then this person does that, and what happens. I was
I'm gonna watch
insane.
it.
I drove
It's-
myself crazy.
It's on YouTube.
I believe so.
think
The
so.
the most recent one is on.
Is it barstool.tv?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to pay like $5 because Kirk said he was gonna kill Stephen Chase's family, but
I
it's,
said-
Oh, yeah,
he
y'all
said he
said
was
that
going
last
to
time.
bomb Jeff Delo's house.
Yeah.
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 Which
Very chill and
fair.
cool.
That one's less. That one's more like I get the joke, but the other one, he says something about somebody's daughter or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he went to a dark place.
It's what happens.
You're going to be surprised at what you're capable of, Arian.
I know myself pretty well, man.
No, I think you might get really into it.
I am very fascinated to watch you on it.
Pause.
Cuz you have to make alliances. You have to
That's a stretch.
you have to find your team. Got to find
Fascinated to watch you on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's-
you're stretching. You're
That's
stretching.
the pause.
You're
brother.
stretching.
Oh yeah, is he? He's stretching while you're watching him on it. He's stretching.
Yeah, sure.
I also think it'll be like interesting to walk into the office on like a Tuesday morning and Arian is like running around trying to like find one of the clues
The
or whatever they
the immunity tokens
yeah, the
or whatever.
immunity
Idols.
necklace. Yeah. And it's like it's just a different
Oh, they're not closing the office down?
No, like
No,
we're all
we'll
gonna
be
be
here.
there.
So where am I going to sleep?
You got to find a
Yeah,
place.
That's-
Well, you have this studio.
Yeah,
But we
that's
won't
true.
be here like while you're sleeping.
No. I mean people will, but not us.
You can also, if you want to, you can buy a cot or an inflatable mattress and have it delivered to the office, and then that way you have a bed that's here.
Am I going to be able to use my phone? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they might put some restrictions on phone use though.
I think Dave said like within an hour of the votes, you can't
use it. Yeah. So
Because remember, Gaz had that whole thing with Jerry.
yeah,
I'm Jerry.
yeah, I'm Jerry.
Bro, that shit was fucking hilarious.
No
bro.
mierda.
I saw that clip. And he said, "Is this guy on Pluto?"
That was awesome.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, you'll have this office that you can sleep in. They'll have some cots set up for you. Some people got their own inflatable mattresses, but yeah, you'll have a place to sleep. But it's just gonna be you'll be running around. I'll give you one piece of advice. I wish I had known this, but there will be something in the set design or something that's put up on the walls around the office that is related to Survivor, and you're going to want to memorize whatever. If you see a weird pattern somewhere, you're going to want to memorize that. Or if there's like 3 dots over here in this corner with a Survivor logo on it, and then 4 dots in this corner over here, you're going to want to memorize like these weird things that are just set up for seemingly no reason, because there will be like a memory challenge later on. There'll be something that you have to memorize. So I didn't know that. And at the dinner tables that they had set up, there were all these different drawings of things that were Barstool related, whether it was Larry the Goldfish or Frank the Tank or Pirate Dog. And it was set up in like this order of 7. And then later on in the competition, they asked us to memorize or to say back what those 7 drawings were and what order were they in. And the people that had played Survivor before, they knew that that's something that they should memorize. I had no idea. So I was like, I don't know this.
That's real Bill Belichick like.
Yeah, it is.
He used to make people, Bill O'Brien adapted it, but he used to make people, like there'll be like motivational signs on the wall, like give your all today, silly shit like that. So he used to make people like recite what was on some of these signs. Like, hey, he'll pick a random dude, like, what's on the sign when you walk into the locker room? Dude be like, I don't know. And so like they made it a point to, you have to be aware of your surroundings. I used to hate that shit.
Yeah, just like look at the signs and figure out what it's a way for you to have to stare at it more and think about it more. Like these random signs that are up there trying to motivate professional athletes to be professional athletes.
Yeah. Hey, that reminded me. Did you see the conversation with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown about CTE?
I did see that. Yeah.
Was that not like depressing, dog?
Yeah.
Whose platform was that on?
Was that CTE ESPN? That's what Antonio Brown calls it. I don't know.
I know.
It actually does seem like it. That's what it was on.
Yeah, it was sad to see. Le'Veon and Antonio both at the same time, it feels like in Pittsburgh, they were just unstoppable. And then they both kind of sabotaged their own careers. Le'Veon Bell, I was thinking about that the other day with the Hassan Reddick stuff that's going up in New York, where he just paid the Steelers a shitload of money. They were like, we're not going to redo your contract. And he's like, that's fine, I won't play. And they said, okay, but if you don't play, it's going to cost you millions of dollars a week. So I think he ended up paying them, I don't know, it was definitely in the tens of millions of dollars just because he didn't want to play that year and he wanted a new deal. And then he ended up not panning out in New York really. But yeah, it was a sad conversation because they were like trying to figure out what CTE was.
Yeah, that was like, and it's bad. The reason I hated it so much is because there are football players that are articulate and can intelligibly explain what it is, how it affects people, and it just that's going to be like the narrative because like it's just I don't know. Plus, they're your peers, so it's like it's hard to like, damn dog, you literally doing the stereotype. You know what I mean? That's why I hated when Le'Veon and Adrian Peterson boxed. I hated that shit. I don't know, man. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I hope they doing well, dog, but like that kind of shit, it just never sits well with me, man.
Yeah, and it was sad because I think like Antonio Brown has obviously gone off the deep end in the last couple of years, and watching him try to have a conversation about CTE, it's like I'm not a doctor. I don't know if he has CTE or not, but he seems like a different person than he was 6-7 years ago for sure. And
yeah,
it was just
to
sad.
me that seems like I've known some people in my life that were bipolar. Like like I said, I'm not gonna diagnose, but it looks like some kind of disorder like that to where his behavioral patterns are like extreme. Like he does extreme things.
Yeah, you remember when he pulled his dick out in the hotel pool?
No, I don't remember that. Did he
so,
really?
Yeah, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was like so much Antonio Brown shit that was coming out one right after the other that you lost track of all the crazy shit he was doing. And at one point, he was just in a hotel pool and just pulled his dick out and started jerking it, like weird shit.
That's like you can get on a list like that.
Yeah, I think he got arrested for it.
Yeah, that seems deeper than CTE to me.
Yeah, you might be right. On a lighter note, there's been a caper. There's been a heist. Do you guys like heists?
I like
Depends
heist
of
movies.
what nature?
What about chicken wing heists?
Yeah, no, I like this heist.
Arian, do you like chicken wing heists?
I don't know that I've ever came across one.
So there's a cafeteria worker in Chicago that just got sentenced to 9 years in prison. She stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. Yeah. So how many chicken wings would that be? 1.5 million.
I think I saw it was 11,000 cases.
All right. So you're buying wholesale, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, at those numbers, 1.5 million. You have to figure probably getting what, like 25 cents a wing?
That's what I was going to guess as well.
Okay. So what's 1.5 million divided by 4?
Times 4, it'd be 6 million.
Times 4. Wait, no.
Yes.
Yes,
25
right.
cents means there's 4 in a dollar, so you would
Yep.
have 4 for each of the 1.5. That's 6 million.
So 6 million chicken wings she stole. Apparently during COVID. It was during COVID and she was in charge of ordering or something like that. They caught on to her because schools don't use chicken wings.
So that's what I was going to ask. I was like, did y'all ever have bone-in wings
No.
in school? Like, that'd be amazing.
Nope, never. So that's how they caught her, was because they were like, nobody's ordering bone-in wings
I didn't know that that's how they called her, actually.
for kids. Yeah. So she's going to jail for 9 years, prison for 9 years. She was the food service director for the Chicago School District. And then she did this during COVID, starting in July 2020. And then she kept the food. I don't know who she sold it to. Like, you have to... She was definitely selling to restaurants, right?
Yeah, somebody.
Like, if you live in Chicago, if you've been in Chicago from the year 2020 to 2023, you've eaten stolen chicken wings.
It's kind of a rush.
It is kind of a rush, yeah.
I'm glad we're prosecuting the real crimes in Cook County, too.
I've always wanted to take part in a heist.
It looks like this was a one-woman operation.
Well, maybe she just kept her mouth shut.
Could be.
If you had, Big T, if you got 6 million chicken wings, what would you do with them?
Well, I mean, off the bat, you got to just see how many you can down
Yeah.
at once.
Yes.
You got to try for
Yeah.
hundreds a lot. 50.
50. You got to go for 50.
Got to try
yeah.
for 50. So you do that, and then you're left with 5.9995
Yep.
million. And then you, I guess, see who needs wings. But are restaurants buying wings from they're not buying from individuals. They would just go to the business. So she's selling them at a discount, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, surely the restaurants are like, what the fuck is this?
No, if you're a restaurant and you're getting cheap chicken wings, I'm not going to ask any questions.
So if you paid, let's just say for the sake of easy math, there are 1,000 in a case at let's say 25 cents a wing. So that's $250 a case.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you selling that for? Enough that restaurants would overlook the shadiness of what you're doing to buy it? $100?
If I'm her?
Yeah. Or what price would it have to? If you were a restaurant owner, how much lower would it have to be before you'd buy it from someone that you know stole them?
25%.
25% less or 25% of the cost?
25% less.
Oh, so you'd buy it for what,
dude,
$175?
If you run a restaurant, margins are tight. You take any savings wherever you can get them. Yeah, it's not. You don't know where these wings are coming from. You don't ask any questions. If one lady comes to your house and is like, "Do you want to buy 10,000 chicken wings? I'll give it to you for almost half off." I'd be like, "Yep, sign me up. Deliver them around the back."
There's a restaurant not far from the office that I would not be shocked if they were involved in this.
Yeah,
Good wings, though.
I think a lot of restaurants would be involved. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. But I think the thing I would do, Big T, you're absolutely right. First thing is, let's see how many you can eat. Second is you have a wing party.
Yeah.
You get all the friends over, and you're like, we're going to eat some chicken wings.
Just take one of those cases and be like, boys, however many you want.
For a while, you think that you're going to, there's a possibility you could eat 6 million chicken wings.
No.
Well, you got to get a freezer space, too.
Assuming you have the freezer space, I could maybe 5,000 I could get rid of in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. I feel like it would become a burden. 6 million chicken wings.
I don't know where she was putting them.
Have you seen was it Brewster's Millions? Have you seen that? Remember that?
Yeah.
Movie back in the day? It would be like that. You just have a tough time getting the chicken wings off.
Yeah. You can't get rid of 6 million chicken wings. 11,000 cases. That's so many chicken wings. And I don't know if this was involved in the PPP loans either. I would just, start your own business. The real answer is I would start my own wing restaurant. And then I'd say I'm going to run this restaurant until I run out of chicken wings.
You know, and now it's so easy. Do a ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
On Uber Eats. Nobody ever knows where that comes from.
Yeah, just get a giant industrial strength fryer. And then I'm going to make 6 million chicken wings, make money, and then the money's washed.
And you could easily be the cheapest wings on Uber Eats.
Easily.
And still make a ton of money.
Yeah. She did it all wrong.
Liddell's theft was discovered after the district's food service department exceeded its annual budget by $300,000 in the middle of the year.
I don't think she really thought this through.
That's insane.
Yeah, so
9 years though. I mean, it is a lot of wings, but that's a tough way to end up in the joint.
Yeah, you think when they find out what you're in for, and you're like, I stole 6 million chicken wings. You think that gets you respect?
I mean, it's better than some other crimes.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
I feel like do you try to hype it up? Be like, yeah, I was involved in a multi-million-dollar operation.
Yeah, you make it seem like you're in the mafia.
Yeah. Well, it says she was charged with operating a criminal enterprise, which that sounds good.
That's what you lead with. But then you say it wasn't just chicken wings. We had plans to infiltrate the whole system. We were going to go for government files. You gotta butter it up like that.
Yeah, it was the start.
Yeah,
they just caught her too early.
Yeah, they were on to me.
I wonder who her biggest clients were. I mean, she might have sold to like Wrigley Field, Soldier Field.
I would say should the Cubs be like banned from the postseason, but they do that themselves.
That was mean.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on which restaurants have their chicken wing prices go up suspiciously. That way we're going to find out.
I don't know that. Do ballparks have wings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some that do. It's not super common. Like,
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
If you go to the generic food place,
right?
Because we all know that there's certain restaurants in certain towns have their like counter that they do there, where it's like, oh, you can get like in Texas, you can get Salt Lick Barbecue.
So this was just specifically wings. It wasn't drumsticks as well.
Just wings. So wings meaning
So
like
odd.
the drum and the flat, not the leg part, not the big drumstick.
Right.
But I think that there's some
mansplained chicken wings to me.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, honestly.
when you said drumsticks, I want to say drums and flats.
That was kind of white-splaining, honestly.
I don't think you know what chicken wings are, Arian.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue. Never had them. Never seen them. Hey, hard pivot. Did y'all see Kanye? I think there were some leaked text messages about how he was addicted to
nitrous.
Yes.
nitrous. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have some questions about this, and it got nothing to do with this story. Very sad story, and you could see him mentally spiraling, and it doesn't surprise me that it's somewhat drug induced. I hope he gets it together. He's one of my favorite artists of all time, the old Kanye. But there was something in those text messages that blew me, and maybe I'm fucking up. As an iPhone user, you know how you click on a message to like thumbs up it, thumb down it, or whatever, heart it, whatever.
Yep.
Those messages have color. It's like they're almost emojis. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. If you do it, it turns blue.
How do you do this?
So, Arian, if I texted you, here, I'm going to do it in our texts right now. I'm going to thumbs up the last text you sent me.
Okay.
Do you see that? How it's gray?
Yeah, it's gray.
Then I'll send you a picture. When I do it, it's blue, just like how when I send a text message to you, it's blue.
No.
Wait, are you asking how to do the reactions?
No. I know how to do the reactions, but I ain't old like that. I'm saying, look. I know that part. Look, I'm gonna find the thing. Let's see. Yay, text message. Because what I'm saying is, the ha-has and the thumbs up, thumbs down, they look like emojis. It's not grayed out. It's not like that. It's like emojis. Let's see.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
You see what I'm saying?
That may just be I honestly don't know why it's like that.
That was the most surprising thing when that story broke. I was like, okay, that sucks. But how the fuck
I still don't think it's more. I don't think it's more shocking than what the hell his dentist looks like.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
His dentist is the most insane looking person.
Okay,
I've
so his
ever
dentist
seen.
is Thomas Connolly. Guarantee you this is Tommy. This is Tommy Connolly. He's got a full skull tattoo.
Yeah.
Forearm tattoos that go down to his knuckles. He's jacked as hell. He's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And he, I guess, specializes in doing grills for celebrities.
Yeah.
And it looks
And apparently selling nitrous oxide to Kanye West.
selling nitrous oxide. He likes to go to celebrity functions wearing a pink suit, a pink jacket with the sleeves cut off and no undershirt.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look at the group chat though.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
keep the main
I
thing.
don't
Do you
know.
see what I'm saying? And like put it on the YouTube or whatever so that people can see what we're talking about. How I want this.
I bet you it's like some sort of update that you
It
and I
could be
don't
the new
have yet.
iOS.
Yeah, like us plebs don't have that kind of stuff yet.
Plebs?
Plebes.
Plebes, sorry.
What is a plebe?
It's Latin for like lowest of the low, like scum.
I think that was
Yeah,
in
Muggles. The Muggles.
it was in 1984, right? The Plebes. Maybe I'm thinking about a different book.
I don't know.
didn't read that book.
It's
The
it's what
proles and the
the
plebes.
it's what the service academies call like freshmen.
Okay, plebes, plebeian, I think is what it's short for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riffraff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just saw that, and I was like, yo, what am I missing, man? I need that. But it's really sad that he's hooked on nitrous. But it's also an odd ass thing to get hooked on. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, I've been to the dentist, and I guess it's cool. I just feel really lightheaded, but it's never been like when I used to get surgeries. I'm obsessed with morphine. Like, I will absolutely understand if you get hooked on morphine. That makes 100% sense. But like, nitrous is such a weird drug to get hooked on. Like, and that can cause irreversible damage as well.
It seems like it has.
It is a very strange drug.
Also, Ye is calling him Tom, so I think he might be a Tom.
A Tom. This guy's a Tommy.
Also,
Have you seen this guy, Big T?
Also, the first text message in this exchange that we're seeing is the dentist saying, "This needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized." Hello?
Okay.
Who's asking?
But hold on, it's not funny because he's affected and it's gonna affect his family, but this is funny. So it's Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
And he was like a super alt right but gay. Weird. That's a rabbit hole to go down. But he's in cahoots with Ye. And so this is a thread between them three. And this is Dr. Thomas Connolly says, this needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized. Meanwhile, we master the delivery system with a 2-year head start. And Milo says, surely you're joking. Prolonged misuse of nitrous causes birth defects, problems with B12, your spinal cord disintegrates. Why would anyone want to introduce another drug to an already depressed, addicted, demoralized, and apathetic population of dopamine slaves? Ye's next response is, can I have the nitrous today?
Also, if you get that text from Milo, you're like, well, he's screenshotting this.
Facts. But it's just so funny after that explanation, Ye like, hey, yo, let me get that though.
My only experience with nitrous, I used to live in a very gay neighborhood when I was in New York. For 2 years, I lived on, I think, probably the gayest street in New York. It was Christopher Street. It's where they end the Pride Parade right there. And a lot of gay bars on my street. And every Saturday, Sunday morning, I'd wake up, I'd take Leroy out for a walk. And then just all along the sidewalk, there would be, I don't know, 3 or 4 little nitrous canisters, like poppers. Those are the same thing, right? I'm pretty sure they are.
I don't know.
And so I was like, what? Why are everyone's doing poppers in my neighborhood? It's weird. So I mentioned that to Pat one time. And Pat was like, yeah, gay people sometimes take poppers because it loosens your butthole up. Thought that was interesting.
Is that real?
It's a muscle relaxant. It says it's made with amyl nitrite.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro.
Fun story. Yeah. I was like, oh, they're having a good time. That's awesome. Which they were. Yeah, the Kanye, how much nitrous did he do?
He said he was getting $50,000 a month worth of nitrous, which I don't know what that exactly.
You shouldn't use $50,000 a month worth of anything.
No. How much?
Like name one thing that you can spend $50,000 a month on that's good for your health.
Private chef.
A private chef.
God damn it. Yeah, private chef. But that's not.
But is a private chef even $50,000 a month?
I'm not talking about service. I'm not talking about a service. I'm talking about like a thing that you can buy.
Yeah. Now you're switching the goalposts.
Well, you could buy $50,000 worth of anything. Could go to Whole Foods and spend $50,000 on health nut shit
and consume.
Yeah.
But even that, I think that's like too much of a good thing. Like you're just putting too much in your body.
Could you eat $50,000 worth of tomatoes a month?
No, tomatoes are
in
so
Biden's
cheap.
economy, probably.
Good point.
It's like 18 tomatoes.
Whole Foods. We haven't been making the Whole Foods jokes recently. I'm sad that those have gone away. Bring back Whole Foods price jokes and bring back CVS receipt jokes.
Those are good.
They always play. What else we got to dive into?
I had one more story that Arian would have been interested in.
He would have loved this?
Well, he'll hate it, but he will be interested in it. A California woman was mauled to death by a pack of 25 Great Danes that have apparently been loose in this community for like 2 years.
Savages. So there's a pack of wild dogs ravaging the community?
Yeah, for a while. A California woman was found mauled to death by a pack of 25 Great Danes while she was on a walk in a popular hiking area. Davina Corbin, 56, was discovered covered in numerous bite marks and injuries near the Black Hawk Trail in Feather Falls last week. So yeah, this group of 25 Great Danes has apparently been loose for close to 2 years. And finally, I didn't know Great Danes, obviously they're big dogs. I didn't know they were like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know they'd fuck you up.
I think that's like the pack mentality sometimes.
They're all dogs, bro. All dogs will fuck you up if you give them the opportunity.
Great Danes are gentle giants, Arian.
Really? Tell that to that lady.
So I'm looking this up right now. I don't know how a pack of 25 Great Danes could exist in a community for years.
Yeah, Max Hecker, who lives in the neighborhood, said he had more than one run-in with the pack of Great Danes in the last 2 years, out of which sometimes they've tried to attack him. The Great Danes, they come across the road here at me. I jumped in the car and left. This road would be solid tracks of the dogs, and they'd be out here in the road, and you would have to wade through them, he said.
That's insane. That is a very scary pack of dogs if it's 25 Great Danes.
How many Great Danes do you think you could fend off? I think it's...
One.
So 25 is a lot, but I feel like the number is not too far from there.
No. I could fend
13?
off... No. You could fend off maybe one... Like if it was intent on causing you harm. I think you could fend off one Great Dane. If there's 2 of them, you're fucked.
2. You think you can't fuck up 2 Great Danes?
Not at once. They're big dogs, dude. They're like 120 to 180 pounds.
13, I was obviously kidding. I think I could take 1, 2. I think I could take 4 Great Danes.
How? What's your strategy?
Well, when I get my second arm back, just punch, kick, punch. You have 4 limbs.
You're doing star
Right,
jumps
but
and you're hitting
the
all of
way-
them at the same time.
The way you just punched,
Well,
I'm
I got to
about
get this arm back fully functional.
man.
Congratulations on having the cast
kick,
off.
kick,
Yeah.
punch, punch.
Well, I'm trying to not mess up this arm. I got to get it all the way back, but
Did it atrophy?
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a little messed up, but it's getting back.
Damn, little
I'm-
T now.
No.
That's a gnarly scar, though. Look at that thing.
I sent you the picture when I
Yeah.
first had the thing off, right? I mean, that looks good compared to what it was.
Put some vitamin E on that.
Is that like a cream?
I think it's an oil.
Okay.
Heal the scar up, make it smaller. 25 Great Danes that's too many Great Danes.
It's a lot of Great
to be
Danes.
run together. How have they not done something about this? I'm not trying to victim blame the fine people of Feather Falls. I'm looking at the location right now. It looks like it's pretty remote, near Lake Tahoe-ish, maybe like an hour away from Lake Tahoe. That'd be a tough crowd to deal with right there.
By the way, the last sentence of the article: despite the fatal mauling, they're generally considered gentle giants who are docile and friendly toward humans. Mostly peaceful protests.
That's crazy. That is insane.
Mostly peaceful protests.
That's insane to me, dog.
Despite the fatal mauling. It's a tough way to start that sentence.
That's a great closer.
Yeah.
That's a great sentence.
Well, not all Great Danes.
Facts.
I've known many Great Danes in my day.
Hey, you're born a Dane, only some are great.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
These were bad Danes.
No, Great Danes are pussies. They are. They'll just melt in your hand. All they want to do is cuddle with you. I don't know what got into these Great Danes.
It's crazy. Y'all are literally just off of a story of them killing viciously a woman, and it's just right back to, oh, they're really sweet dogs.
They fell in with the wrong crowd.
Shit's crazy to me, man.
Bad
Lone wolf, huh?
influences.
This is why white people, dogs get the white people treatment in the media. This is why I don't like dogs, man. They just murdered a woman, and the next sentence out of your mouth was, "Not really cuddly creatures they are."
Yeah,
Talking
well,
about-
everything can kill you.
That's true.
Yeah. Bees. Do you like bees, Arian?
They're necessary. But I don't fuck with them.
They are necessary. They pollinate. They create flowers, plants. They're very
the
good
world-
for
world would be
agriculture.
shit without bees. Yeah, world would be
You
shit
need
without
food.
bees.
If there were no bees, there'd be no food, right?
Yeah, it would fuck up the
I don't think there'd
entire
be
world
us.
ecosystem.
Yeah. So bees also kill people, though.
They can, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with them. They're creatures on this earth that are genetically geared to survive. So I respect that.
I'm going to introduce you to Blake, and you're going to love him.
I will not be touching or meeting your dog, bro.
He's going to kiss you on your face.
I'm gonna punch your dog and then we gonna fight.
I could take one Great Dane. My strategy for all dog attacks is as follows. I take my shirt off, and then I wrap it around my arm. Then I get them to bite my arm, and then I hold my arm up in the air and I kick them in the balls. That's
Okay.
how you fend off one dog. But yeah, 2 Great Danes. Sorry, you're dead.
I used to run from them all the time.
Did you?
Yeah, not Great Danes, but I've ran from a pit. I've ran from a rot. I've ran from a German Shepherd.
I feel like
Okay.
German Shepherd would be the scariest one to be chasing you.
Any dog is it's scary chasing you.
Now I'm looking at this picture, Big T. I don't think these were Great Danes. There's a blonde fluffy one with a fluffy tail. Where did that fluffy tail come from? Great Danes have long, skinny tails.
Oh, I'm looking at a Great Dane. You ain't beating these, Big T. You gonna get your ass ate up.
They might not be
Mhm.
Great Danes.
Well, that are you looking at this like news coverage?
Yep.
I mean, who's to say that that's the pack of dogs?
You think they just
Those could just be random dogs.
You think they took a random blurry picture of 4 dogs together?
Well, it's like a iPhone video of this random group of dogs. I wouldn't imagine they would say it was Great Danes if it wasn't Great Danes.
I think, you know what I think? I think the Pitbull crowd planted this article, and they wanted to make sure they weren't labeled as pit mixes, and then just blamed it on the Great Danes.
You think Big Pitbull's behind this?
I think so. I think they've got a very powerful lobbying community.
They've been big recently in trying to, Pitbulls are. I mean,
Oh, don't get if you thought that the wedding people were on your bumper, wait until you piss off the pitbull crowd.
Well, I mean, now Dave is at the forefront.
Yeah, you're gonna get nothing but pictures of just pit bulls cuddling with babies and pit bulls being sweet. Yeah, don't
Miss
be
Peach is a very good dog.
very. It sounds like you're a little suspect of her though.
No, I'm not.
Okay, how is Dave going to do surviving without Miss Peaches?
I have no idea.
Is he going to have a dog with him all the time?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would make surviving Barstool a lot easier for him.
What does Arian do?
Yeah, just intimidate you with Miss Peaches. All right, so let's get into some other stuff today. You guys want to talk about Salem witch trials or anything else on your mind?
I just created an AI image with Grok. It's Donald Trump and Kamala Harris debating, but they're Legos.
That's nice.
Is it good?
It's pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. None of the other AI Jones would let me do it. And so I saw a tweet that said AI, the Grok lets you do whatever. So I was like, I'll bet. And I did it, and I like it. Here, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, send it to the group. I want to see this. Mad Dog, the ray gun dance.
God,
Where are we at with that? I did not forget about that. Mad Dog was saying that she would do the ray gun dance for $1,000.
Yeah.
It seems like people wanted it.
I got a couple people in my mentions asking about it, or saying that I should do it. You tell me. You're my boss. I don't know.
$1,000 for the entire ray gun routine.
You're also the one that's paying me. Are you actually gonna give me $1,000 if I do it?
If you learn the entire routine, yes.
Is there?
This is
I'm
wild.
nervous. I feel like she didn't do anything, but I think she did one tiny head spin. Do I have to learn how to do a head spin?
The head spin was tough. I think if you attempt the head spin.
Can I do it on the wrestling mats so I
Yeah.
don't get hurt?
Yeah, of course. Safety first.
You can do a handstand.
Yeah, I can. Fuck it, I'll do it. Fuck
Okay.
it.
All right. Let's get a
When
date.
am I doing
Let's get a
this?
date set for this.
Okay. Well, you're gone next week.
I'm gone next week.
Maybe I'll take next week and learn.
Okay. Yeah.
While the DNC, Kamala and Tim Walz are going to be at United Center. I'll be learning my ray gun dance
I
at home.
don't know how long it's going to take you. So I don't necessarily want to put a time frame on it just yet
Okay.
because you might be halfway through it by 2 days, or you might have just done like 3 moves in the first 2 days. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So just
and also to memorize it.
yeah, I'm going to need an update in progress after the first week. And then we'll figure out what the time frame is.
Okay. Also, I think she did 3 routines. Do I have to learn all 3?
I don't think so.
I think I learned 1.
People are going to want the kangaroo hop.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
That one?
the touch
And then I have to do the one where it's like me on the ground, like
That one.
touching the toes. Yeah, that one.
That.
And then we're going to need what's our other signature move?
it was.
Oh, the like thriller
Yeah,
T-Rex.
the thriller
No.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to
Thriller
incorporate
T-Rex.
all 3 of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't see her do again. Like I'm sure there was stuff in there that is technical. I don't really know, but like I didn't see on social media a ton of things that you would consider breakdancing.
No.
I saw a lot of just like flailing, I would call it.
Yeah, there's a lot of flailing.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, do I have to get an outfit?
Yeah, you have to wear the.
We should get the Australia.
Yep.
How do I?
We can expense that.
Yeah, we can
yeah,
expense
we
that.
can find it.
Okay.
The green pants, green polo shirt,
Yeah.
green hat.
I'm looking right now.
Yep. Need everything.
Oh God, I don't know if I have the. I don't know if I have the like. I don't even know
Oh my
vibe
God.
with the
I've never
aura that
watched-
she brings.
I've never watched the whole video, dog.
Wait, will you send it to me? I can't find the whole thing.
What the entire fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to do that. People are gonna have to watch it
I feel like you should do the routine when Arian's here.
for surviving. No,
Well, not for the show, but for
just in general.
yeah, that week.
Yeah.
That could work.
No. That's not going on surviving, but
It's gonna be funny because no one's gonna
Understand
care
or care
or
anymore.
remember about Ray Gun.
we'll keep her memory alive.
Yeah, we're bringing her back.
Yeah.
If Big T's right and this is some big like social experiment that she's run on people, then maybe that news will come out right around then, and then we can capitalize.
The A6 website has everything. They've even got the bucket hat.
Wait,
Was she
really?
wearing a bucket hat or was she wearing like a baseball
cap.
hat?
She was wearing a baseball hat,
Yeah.
like a brimmed cap.
They have a bucket hat. I'm not seeing, but they have the polo and the shorts.
That's wild.
Oh God.
Only 170 for the whole ensemble.
Wow.
Steal. I feel like Ray Gun's going to be a very popular Halloween costume this year.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like,
What else do we have?
So
Girl
bad. I've just
Reagan.
never seen the whole video. This is so bad, dog.
Okay.
What else do we have for Halloween costumes coming up this year?
Oh.
Trump with one ear.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into Salem in a second. This is some breaking news, though. The Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh has offered former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick a coaching position with the team.
Okay.
He's considering it. He was out of the country. He said he was going to get back to me. Jim told USA Today. Apparently, this was in January, and nothing's happened since then. So my guess is...
Oh, hell of a breaking news story
Yeah.
you gave us there.
Well, apparently the conversation happened in January. Now people, for whatever, the aggregators have picked it up right now. So we're talking about it. So good. I'm glad that we get, good for Mike Florio. He gets another like 3 articles about Colin Kaepernick. How old is he? 36?
Is he really that young?
I think for the last, 8 years, there have been like,
Yeah, he's 36.
you can
How
always,
old did you think he was?
39, 40?
Nah, he was younger than me.
it was 8 years ago that that he took a knee. And then ever since then, it's you can always get clicks by saying this team should bring in Colin Kaepernick after the first injury. I think it's gone. I think that dream's gone. But as a coach, I don't know. I'm going to trust Harbaugh.
So that must have been like the first thing he did when he got the job.
Yeah, one of them. I mean, Harbaugh's always had great things to say about him. He loved him.
He was nice, bro.
Dude, the 2 games, there was one game in particular he had against Green Bay in the playoffs. where
Crazy.
I think he ran for like 200 yards, a couple tutties, passed for 250, a couple tutties. That was insane. It was like some of the best football that I've ever seen.
Yeah, he had a nice little playoff run.
Yeah. Probably can't do it right now at 36. I'm just going to guess.
Nah.
Oh, that's the one thing about Kaepernick, though, is like, I feel like every piece of Kaepernick news that we've gotten in the last 5 years has come from somebody that's not Colin Kaepernick. Like, he did a workout and he talked a little bit at his workout, but he's not very like forward facing in the media when he's talking about really anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Salem witch trials time. Before we get to the Salem witch trials, it's brought to you by Factor. I would like some Factor. I'm getting back in shape. I don't know if I told you guys this. Worked out 3 days in a row.
Okay.
We're making good habits. I wanted to eat a healthy breakfast this morning. I tried to eat a healthy breakfast, but I was running a little bit late, so I had 6 Oreos, double stuff. But they're vegan, so I think that's good for you. I need to get back in shape. I'm back on, for the most part, my soup and salad diet, which is just I eat soup or salad for every meal. I don't really think things through or plan in advance. But when you use Factor, they take all that guesswork out for you because they get your wellness goals set in place and they help you, they support you. You can fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. There's chef crafted meals. You've got options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals. They're dietitian approved. They're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. No matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day that you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you're always going to have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Head to factormeals.com/dosing50. Use code dosing50 to get 50% off your first box, plus you get 20% off your next month. Big discount there. Go to factormeals.com/dosing50 and use code dosing50, 50% off your first box, plus you get 20% off your next month. Code dosing20 at factormeals.com. That's a great deal. And if you're looking to get back in shape, looking to stay in shape, Factor is a great way to do it. Their food's good too. They sponsored Surviving Barstool last year. I ate Factor meals all week. Very, very tasty. I enjoyed them. Good shakes, good breakfasts. All of it's good, Factor. So yeah, I'm getting back in shape. And I feel like, I don't know, Arian, you're in pretty good shape, I guess. You've taken care of your body over the years. Yeah, I mean, I guess you played for a few seasons in the NFL. If I'm trying, I want to put on muscle and I want to lose weight like everybody else. I feel like I have to lose weight before I put on the muscle, right?
No, you could do it. That's a lie. You could do both at the same time.
Okay. How?
People complicate this, man. It's just the calories that you expend should exceed the calories that you intake. So everything that you eat is just a calorie. Calorie is a unit of energy. And so there are good calories, there are bad calories, but if you're exerting more calories than you're intaking, you will lose weight. Now the muscle part, that has to do with how you train and then how you eat. Certain foods help you help the muscle retention better than others. And certain foods help with cutting fat. And certain foods put on fat. And so as a baseline, what I tell people is do high cardio. Don't try to squat the world or bench the world. Do high cardio, high reps, low weight. Just make it burn. If it's burning, that shit is working. Do a lot of, you can get in shape doing push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups. You literally can. So just make sure whatever you're doing is it burns to where it hurts, and stay away from all the accoutrement that you like. Cheese, ranch dressing, ketchup, anything that has a lot of sugar in it. Stay away from all that shit.
Oreos,
stay away from that shit. And just stick to a nice, good protein, clean, lean protein, chicken, fish, even beef, whatever, lamb, anything like that. And then get you like 2-3 vegetables that you really like, potatoes, asparagus, whatever the case may be. And then don't load your vegetables with shit that's bad. Butter, horrible. Sour cream, horrible. Like I said, cheese, horrible. All that shit will delay what you're trying to do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get in great shape by the time I'm 40. That's my goal.
Here's the best advice I could give. It's what I tell people, because it's all about what you eat. If you try to be disciplined, if you're not, enjoy your life, whatever. But if you want to be disciplined, stop thinking about food like a reward.
Yeah.
And start thinking about it like, this is, I have to intake energy in order to have energy. And so a lot of people think, it's all centered around birthdays, celebrations, get-togethers, whatever, football, whatever when y'all get together, it's always about food. It's all, alcohol is horrible for you too. Food, alcohol, it's always involved around that stuff. So don't think about this as a reward for my long week, or reward for my long day. I'm gonna have a piece of cake. I ate good all week. Just think about it like I need energy so I can do things tomorrow.
Sometimes I can think about food like it's medicine.
Yes.
Where I eat stuff that I don't like because I know that I have to eat it.
I think the majority of ailments that harm Americans are reversible. Heart disease, just obesity in general that can cause diabetes, all these like ailments that people suffer from can all be fixed by how you eat.
Yep, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to put it into action. I went to the doctor. I got a checkup a couple weeks ago, and for the first time in my life, I got high blood pressure, which I don't like.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
It's the one that's on the bottom. I forget if that's systolic or diastolic or whatever.
I don't know enough about that shit.
The one on the bottom was too high, so trying to bring that down. We're gonna get there.
Salts.
Yeah, all the stuff that I like, I can't have.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the thing too. People think like you got to change your whole. Not really, dog. If you lock in for like a month, and you would be surprised how much. I told my mom this, because she always goes back and forth about she wants to lose a bit of pounds, and I'm like, dog, if you really lock in for a month, you can get to where you want to be, and then you can coast from there. Then you can eat bad and eat good and eat bad, right? But it's just you just have to lock in for a short amount of time and be disciplined for a short amount of time, and you'll get exactly where you want to go very fast, way faster than you thought.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get in great shape.
Lock in.
Great shape. Salem Witch Trials, witch hunt. If you're from Massachusetts, if you're from the United States, you've probably heard of the Salem Witch Trials before. It started in February 1692, and it lasted till May 1693. It wasn't the first witch hunt in world history. There were, I think, tens of thousands of suspected witches that were executed from the 14th to the 17th century in Europe, and they'd stop. It was falling out of fashion. It wasn't as popular as it once was. But then in the New World, in the United States, it started up again, 1692. I guess it wasn't the U.S. then, but it was the New World. In 1689, the English monarchs William and Mary started a war with France in the American colonies. It was King William's War. The conflict ravaged the nearby regions of upstate New York, Nova Scotia, and Quebec, sent refugees into Massachusetts' Salem village. The people that got there, the displaced people that escaped the war, they put a strain on Salem, Massachusetts resources. So there was a rivalry between the wealthy families that had ties to the port there in town, the ones that had been there for a long time, and those who were still dependent on agriculture. There was Reverend Samuel Parris. He was Salem Village's first ordained minister in 1689, and he courted controversy with a reputation for his rigid ways and his greedy nature. The Puritan villagers believed the quarreling was the work of the devil. And then in January 1692, Parris's 9-year-old daughter Elizabeth and 11-year-old niece Abigail Williams started having fits. So, Arian, you've raised daughters before, right?
I'm not done. Still going on.
Between the ages of 9 and 11, would you say that sometimes there are fits, sometimes there are tantrums?
My kids never really had tantrums, but yeah, I mean they can get a little tooty. Yeah.
Also, real quick, maybe we could look this up, but the difference between Puritans and whatever the Puritans were escaping, there was one guy that started his whole new sect of Puritanism because he wanted to get divorced. And he was like, I believe everything they teach you. It's a good religion, but you should be allowed to get divorced too. So I'm going to start my own new religion where you can get divorced just so I can get divorced. And then you got people to follow him. I don't know if that was the Puritans or...
I thought that was like a king did that.
It might... a king or...
like a European king.
Some sort of religious leader. I want to say it was in the New World, though. I might be wrong about that.
Give me a elevator pitch about what a Puritan is.
They think that you should treat every second of your life like you're in church.
Like Amish, but even more...
More than Amish?
I think Amish is the closest present day comparison we have to it.
I think it's like reject all internal desires that you have because every desire that you have is the work of the devil. So you should only be focused on God and what's going to happen after you die. Every second of your life should be about that. It shouldn't be about any earthly pleasures. None of that.
Gotcha.
No lust, no greed.
Gotcha.
None of that stuff. No fun stuff, basically.
Yeah, boring as shit.
And so if you're Puritan, then it becomes kind of like you're always doing purity tests on things where you're like, well, I'm more pure than you are. And then you look down on other people. Anything that pisses you off, you're like, that's the devil that's doing that.
There's not Puritans now, is there?
Other people with Puritan tendencies, I don't think that they're an active religion. I could be wrong.
We're like evangelicals is close.
It says that Puritans died out in the 17th century.
Okay, so yeah, they haven't been around for a while.
I mean, there are like Christians who have probably similar beliefs to the Puritans, but like they were their own outfit.
It says denominations that are directly descended from the Puritan churches of New England include the Congregationalist churches, a branch of the wider Reformed tradition, the United Church of Christ.
Okay. So not an official denomination anymore.
No.
Let's bring it back. Let's have some weirdos running around. So these girls, Paris and Elizabeth, they were 9 and 11, and they started having fits. They were screaming, throwing things, made weird sounds, contorted themselves in strange positions. And then they brought a doctor in, and a doctor blamed the evil hand. Sounds like he was a really good doctor. And so he examined them, and they're like, yeah, you know what? This is the evil hand that is affecting your daughter and your niece. There was another girl, 12-year-old Ann Putnam. Ann Putnam Jr. was her name. We don't do juniors for girls anymore. Do you guys wish that there were juniors for girls?
It doesn't really. I've never actually even thought about this. Is it because the kids usually take the father's name?
Yeah.
So it'd be hard to be a junior if you switch names.
Yeah, women do women ever name their daughters after them? Like a mom?
Not often. I've heard of it where it's the mom's name is your middle name.
I have the same middle name as my mom.
Middle name, yeah.
But not first name, yeah.
No, yeah.
I don't hear a lot of mother-daughter first name. Or it'll be like the first, like my first name would be like my grandma's first name.
Yeah.
Like they'll skip a generation.
Yes.
I guess it's also
sure.
because women traditionally take the last name of the man. And so the name of the daughter wouldn't exactly be, it wouldn't have that
Junior.
same tie-in. As a mom, you wouldn't have had that name for your entire life.
Right.
And then you pass it down to your daughter, knowing
Yeah,
that one
that's
day
true.
she'll also get married and have to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it was Ann Putnam Jr. She was also going through it. She was 12 years old. And then on February 29th, spooky.
This is wild. It's because it says in the 1700s and earlier, women were often invisible in town records because they didn't own property. That's just fascinating to me. Like so women, I've never thought about this. I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but it's like, because like when we think of like lineage, we think, I'm gonna pass this down to my son, or whatever the case may be. Do women, I'm asking the women, do y'all really have thoughts about lineage in general, or is this just like an egotistical?
No, I don't.
You don't have any like what I'm gonna. Wow, it's wild.
Like, what do you mean? Like how am I going to carry on my legacy?
Yeah, like the legacy of the family. Because I guess like women don't, because traditionally you take the father's name.
Yeah.
More often than not, the child takes the father's name. So you don't really have an affinity to your family's history. I guess just a namesake.
I do, but I don't like think about it. Like I don't think I'm gonna change my name probably until I have kids, I think.
Interesting.
I haven't even thought about
But
that.
like personally for me, I do. But I wouldn't necessarily be like I need it to be living on through my children sort of thing.
I also think it's different because you and I both have brothers, so the like quote unquote like the name will be carried on. Because my friend is an only child and she's a girl, and she gets sad that she's the last of her like last name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why. Like
But I don't think about that because like my brother will always be a Conroy, I guess.
Yeah.
And like but also it's like I'll still be the lineage of my, but I'll still be part of the lineage of my family. I'll just have a different last name, right? Like it's still my lineage.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but it's something that men just kind of. I gotta know we think about.
Is it like the Roman Empire thing where it's like guys just sit around and think about it?
My legacy.
I feel like because
like
it's always
legacy's like
it's always been like a given for men. So like if the tables were to be turned, they'd be like, "Oh, I could never take my wife's name, blah blah blah," because it's like a given. But for us, it's like for women, it's just like what you do. So it's not really like,
wow, that's
I'm
a fascinating
thinking about
thought.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that ever in my life.
Have you ever, Big T? Have you ever thought about like your namesake and like I'm gonna pass this on to my son, or like you're a
No.
really like the Nap name don't mean nothing to you?
No.
But like you would never change your last name,
No chance.
right?
Why? If it doesn't mean anything.
I just would
Traditionalist?
never do it.
But if your wife didn't change her last name, would you be like upset?
Yeah. because that's
that does mean something then.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Becoming a family means something to me, which that's part of that. The name itself, I don't care about.
So yeah, the name. No, not the name. Nobody cares about
If
the letters put
my
together.
prospective wife was like, I refuse to take your last name, I would say that's an odd, like, way to start a family.
Would you hyphenate ever?
No.
Okay.
But see, so this is what I'm saying. Like
The hyphenated kids were so weird. You remember all the
Who's the comedian? Oh, I think it was Bo Burnham said 1 out of every 3 kids with the initials ADD actually has it, and 3 out of 3 kids with the initials ADHD has an annoying self-righteous mother. I liked that joke.
The hyphenated kids. We all knew one.
Yeah, I don't think about my lineage.
But
like
so
that.
Big T, you say you don't care about the name, but yet like if your wife doesn't take your name, you feel funny, and you're not changing your name. So like I mean, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that aspect of it, yeah. But when you said like think about passing on my name, like I don't really care about that. I would just think it would be odd for the woman you were marrying to be like, I refuse to take your last name.
I think it's becoming more common now. I think if I was a doctor, I wouldn't change my last name because my mom always said if you have a doctor in front of your name, you went to med school, not your husband. But I'm not a doctor and I tweet for a living, so I don't have that issue.
That's a banger tweet that your mom had.
That is actually fire. Yeah.
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 Uh,
Yeah.
I would understand if a woman didn't want to change her name just strictly for the paperwork aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like a bitch.
Yeah, it's just
That's why it's like when you have kids, obviously it's different because you want like to have the same last name as your kids. But yeah, until I have kids, it's not like I'd refuse to take his name. It's just like if I can keep my last name, like I'd rather have my own last name than somebody else's.
yeah, like if you married a non-Italian, Mackenzie.
Well, my last name is actually Spanish.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, it's a cool last name.
Yeah.
You don't want to get rid of that last name.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would be more understanding if a woman told me I didn't want to take your last name just because the paperwork is a
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
As opposed to she was like, yeah, I don't really want to have your last name.
I know it's a thing.
Yeah, that would
now-
be like kind of mean.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it's a thing now where people will go by the last name. Like I would take my husband's last name in a public setting, but not legally change it.
Yeah.
Like my driver's
Yeah.
license wouldn't say my husband's last name, but like
You have
in
to
public, I'd
change
be like, oh, I'm Mrs.
everything.
So and so.
Yeah,
You have to get a new
Everything.
social security card, driver's license,
Oh,
birth
I
certificate. Like
see.
it's a lot of paperwork for. I mean,
For what?
yeah. Why can't I just go by like Mrs. Blank?
It's like you're quiet changing your last name. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, that's my last name now, but I'm not changing shit.
Like I changed my Instagram handle. Is that not enough legal documentation for
yeah.
you?
Nobody is faster
Than changing an Instagram name
than
than
a
after your
woman
wedding.
that just got
Yeah.
married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To changing her Instagram name.
Does the picture of the engagement ring go up faster after the engagement?
No,
than
I
the,
think it's the last
I don't
name
think
the
so. I
last
think
name.
it's the last name.
because if you get professional photos done for your engagement, you got to wait for them to come back. You got to wait a couple days and like maybe you throw up a story just to let the people know that you're engaged, but then you got to have
Yeah.
like the professional shoot. No, you get out of the wedding ceremony. Let me delete real quick.
Yep.
Yep.
It's insane.
Oh, but you got to change your signature too, dog.
Yeah, everything.
I'm
That's
not
fucked
signing
up.
They,
Also-
they've practiced the signature though. That's
Well,
like
yeah.
they do that after the second
I've
date.
already added my last name.
Well, yeah, it's
with
like
this.
every time you like start to talk to a guy, you're like, how does my last name?
Yeah.
Really? Do
flow?
y'all do that for real?
When I was in like 4th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, totally in fourth grade, I did that.
When you make plans for the second date, you write out what the last name would be.
Coming
And
up
then you
with a
look at
new
it.
signature might be fun. I might change mine just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you if you? I've had this conversation with a shorty I was talking to recently because I don't like my last name. I think it's trash.
Not my name, my signature, just to be clear.
Oh yeah. So if you was to change your last name, is there any name that you thought was cool? Just last name that you were like, I could do that one.
Cool names.
I could go. Waters has always been like one of the best last names. Waters
Waters is a cool name, yeah.
It's fire, dog. Like, if my last name was Waters, oh, you couldn't tell me shit.
Your avatar ass.
Yeah, it's facts, bro.
I did see a TikTok once that is very funny that like because if you have a cool last name and you're the woman, you obviously don't want to change your name. And the TikTok example was like the woman's last name was Champagne. Like that's a cool last
Yeah.
name. And they said there should be a vote at the wedding of who like all the guests all the guests vote on whose last name they should keep, and then that should be the last name. Because it does suck if you're a woman and then you have like a cool last name. So like, I thought that was funny. I was like, that would be funny to have a vote at the wedding.
PFT.
Yeah.
Arian waters literally translates to the Rhine.
That's good.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
You should, Connor. You should marry somebody named. You should marry Nia Long, and then your Long Nap.
Right.
That'd be good.
Totally.
Or somebody with Good as a last name.
Good Nap.
Yeah, Good Nap would be good.
But this isn't are you saying it'd be hyphenated?
Yeah.
No.
You could name your kids
nap.
this.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or sometimes,
the coldest.
Also for women, sometimes they change their middle names too and make their maiden name their middle name. So then you got to change 2 names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or marry somebody with the last name E Roots, and then Nappy Roots.
Right. Totally.
He just kind of said, "Oh no." You don't know about Nappy Roots. That's okay.
I thought mine was better. But.
Yeah. Go listen to Nappy Roots. Impossible to listen to Nappy Roots and have a bad day.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know Nappy Roots?
No.
Oh no, hell no!
I don't think
boy,
I do.
Y'all
I don't
up
either.
and done it. Y'all
Yeah.
up and done it. They from Kentucky, bro.
Yeah.
You like
Bowling
them.
Green.
You might like them. Might like them.
Yeah.
Listen to that song.
Yeah.
I had the whole album when I was growing up, but that was their banger. You
The
like
song
that.
All No is the song I'm supposed to be
Oh
looking at.
no, hell no, boy! Y'all up and done it.
Listen to that. Listen to
1.7 million views on YouTube.
Listen to Po Folks. Listen to actually that whole album is awesome.
Album slap.
Watermelon Chicken and Grits.
Watermelon Chicken and Grits. Damn, that's a throwback. I haven't listened to Nappy Roots in a minute.
Oh,
dog.
I could go down a Nappy Roots hole right now. Let's see.
You's a Nappy Roots fan, bro. That's
All right,
crazy.
so I'm trying to think the members of Nappy Roots. There was Skinny P.
I don't know that. I know their names, bro.
There was Big V Screaming.
Who was it? Was that the
Big Dude?
Yeah, okay.
So the names I'm seeing
Skinny DeVille.
So-
Skinny DeVille. Right.
So I see Skinny DeVille.
Okay, Big V Screaming. There was shoot.
Do you want me to list you the names I see here?
No, because I'm gonna get there. The guy that left started Prophet.
Maybe there are names I'm missing. I'm seeing Skinny DeVille, Be
Stills. Be Still, yeah.
Ron Clutch,
Yeah, Ron Clutch. Forget
and
about it.
Fish Scales.
Fish Scales. And there was also Prophet, and he left.
Okay, past members are Prophet and Big V.
Yeah, there we go.
Got it.
Yeah, go down to Nappy Roots hole.
Bro, I've definitely listened to that album and I used to bang that shit, but never did I investigate like the group members and shit. You was a fan. That's what's up.
I was a fan. I am a fan. And they got a new song that came out. They also did that song, Good Day. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah. Oh, that
Ain't
was
nobody
Nappy
gonna
Roots,
cry.
huh?
Oh, okay. I know that song.
Yeah. Great, underrated rap group. They kind of got overshadowed a little bit because Southern hip hop was coming to the forefront with like Outkast, and then Atlanta kind of blew up. But yeah,
How far's Glasgow, Kentucky from here? They're there on Friday.
I would go see Nappy Roots tomorrow.
Let's see how far that is.
That makes
6
my soul
hours.
smile that you're such a big Nappy Roots fan.
It's just the best music, positive vibes.
It was super positive vibes, man.
They rap about eating food with their family.
I can respect that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, man.
They've got merch.
Do they?
Yeah, you need some merch.
I might have to get some.
They've got a flying pig with an afro on a hoodie.
I love it. I love it. The follow up, Watermelon Chicken and Grits, was Wood and Leather, which was also not bad. Good album.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the Salem Witch Trials. All right. So back to these original 3 girls. They started freaking out, and I don't know what happened. My guess is one of them started throwing a tantrum, and then they copied each other. Anyways, there was a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, and they brought the doctor in, said that they're under the influence of the evil hand, and they brought in a local magistrate named Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, 2 magistrates, and they were like, you need to tell us who is making you act like this. What is the evil hand that's controlling you? And they blamed 3 women. They blamed Sarah Good, who was a homeless beggar, Sarah Osborne, who was an elderly poor person, and they blamed Tituba, a Caribbean woman that was enslaved by the Paris family. So they blamed like the house slave, Tituba, and then 2 women named Sarah. Both Sarahs said that they were innocent, but Tituba got forced into a confession. She said, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him." She described images of black dogs, red cats, yellow birds, and a tall man with white hair who wanted her to sign his book. She admitted that she signed the book and claimed that there were other witches looking to destroy the Puritans. So they got a confession that confirmed what the town was thinking. And then there were a bunch of accusations over the next few months. More than 200 people got accused of witchcraft. 30 were found guilty. 20 were executed. 5 also died in prison. So the weird thing was, if you confessed to being a witch, it was better to confess to being a witch than it was to deny being a witch. Because if you suspected somebody of witchcraft, you said, "Do you plead guilty or not guilty?" If they said guilty, then they want to study you. Then they want to know more about like how you're getting away with this
But
stuff.
then they like shunned you for the rest of your life.
They shun you, but they also the rules were different. If you pled innocent to it, they would think that you were lying, and then they would kill you because they thought that you were lying about it. And so these it's speculated that Tituba, she said that she would rather not tell a lie and get to heaven than lie, say she was a witch, and then be condemned to hell. So it was like really a catch-22.
I would hope God would understand, knowing that you're not a witch.
Yeah.
You just kind of get through it.
Yep.
And I feel like he would help you out.
He would help. He's like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But the Puritans didn't think like that. So if you did not confess, you were pretty much certain to die. If you denied claims, I think all but 19 people that refused to confess were found guilty and they were executed. And if you said, "Yeah, I'm a witch," you would probably not be executed at all. So none of the accused Salem witches that confessed were convicted or executed, which is kind of crazy.
It's kind of a cool cheat code, though.
Yeah.
Just say you did it.
Say you did it, then you have to live with the shame of being a witch, and that's punishment enough.
But like, you're not a witch.
Well, yeah, like, so if it was like that for murder, and Big T, you were suspected of murdering somebody.
Would I rather... I have not killed someone.
You've not killed anyone.
Would I rather say I killed someone and not go to prison or go to prison?
Yeah, so...
The former.
You would rather not go to prison and say you killed somebody.
Correct.
So you'd rather walk around the rest of your life...
100%.
And people are like, this guy murdered Spider.
Again, I didn't do it, so yeah, sure.
You would be okay with that? That would be.
I mean, it's better than the alternative.
I mean, a lot of people go through that in the justice system right now, where they're offered plea deals, but you have to like plead to manslaughter or plead to 3rd-degree murder, as opposed to 1st degree. And then, if you didn't do it, do you take that deal?
Well, that's different because you're still going to jail.
You still get punished, yeah. But okay.
So at that point, it's probably better to take your chances.
All right, so Big T, you're accused of murdering just a woman in your building.
Why does it have to be a woman?
We're doing a hypothetical.
Okay, I feel like that's worse. You're making me look worse.
Okay, you murdered a woman and a man in your building.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Most women are murdered by men, though.
That's true. So you stand accused.
I feel most everyone is murdered. That's murdered is murdered by men.
Yeah.
Touche.
So you're Big T. You're accused of double murder, double homicide.
Tough
look.
Didn't do it though.
Well, no, we don't know.
I thought that was the whole premise.
All we see is the news. So
okay, you don't know. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
You're offered a deal. You can plead guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter, go to prison for 4 years, out with good behavior after 2 years, or you can plead not guilty, go to trial, and potentially be executed.
What kind of evidence do we have?
Now I got to create like an entire... Okay, so it was a coworker, and you had a fling with the coworker, and
cause.
the coworker was pregnant with your child.
This sounds like a good TV show.
Yeah. And it's no.
Like what happens next?
This is in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
All right. So everybody thinks like it must be you. And then you have to represent yourself at the trial. They found some of your skin cells underneath the woman's fingernails.
Not good, but we had a relationship, so that kind of makes sense.
There's DNA in her house.
I was doing my thing.
DNA in her house. Your DNA is there.
Again, makes some sense.
And you were seen going into her house that night.
Now that's not good.
And you've sent her dozens of text messages.
Yeah.
Many of which were not responded to.
Yeah. Yeah, that first of all, this sounds like an incredible, like somebody should make this.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any family members that possibly would have had cause to kill her?
Am I married?
Yes.
So if my wife found out.
If your wife found out, well, she caught you cheating before too.
Oh, and wow.
Yeah.
So she would definitely have some.
She's mad.
Yeah.
She's mad.
Okay. Had anyone else found out?
Your son. And your son is, by the way, on track to becoming he's got some offers from Division I schools to be a pitcher.
Okay. So how did he take it?
Bad.
Not good.
He went there too that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so was he seen there?
He was on camera driving by.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it seems like any sort of physical evidence or.
Well, there's a lot of physical evidence there. The prosecutor is out to get you. He kind of has like a Phillip Rivers vibe to him, where he like switches into
talks weird,
puts on a bolo tie.
Yeah.
Would you take the deal?
I don't know. I feel like so you said represent myself. Am I a lawyer?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I know what's going on.
You're a prosecutor.
Wow. Talk about role reversal.
And she also worked in the prosecutor's office, the woman who got killed.
Man, this is a fascinating story.
There's no chance, by the way, that they would let you actually have this trial in the court that you used to work in. It would be a clear conflict of interest for everybody.
Yeah, I mean that would doom me.
It would. There's no chance that this would ever happen in real life. But that's just a hypothetical that we're talking through.
Okay. So I'm representing myself. I'm a prosecutor now accused of murder.
Mm-hmm.
The physical evidence can be fairly easily explained away, but the circumstantial evidence looks
also
bad.
Your wife just sucked a bartender's dick.
Okay.
How do we know that?
Okay.
Text messages.
Okay. Wow. So she's clearly in an interesting state of mind.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd take my chances. Go to trial.
Go to trial. Okay.
I think so.
The Salem witches disagreed. And
what in your hypothetical?
Deal.
What do I get off?
Pause. Yeah. You get off.
Nice.
Hypothetical.
Nice. Do we know who did it?
Chicago PD.
Yeah,
did
we do know.
this.
Who did it?
I thought, as I was just laying this hypothetical out, I thought it was going to be your wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's where I would have gone as well.
Is she married?
And at the end, when I was given this hypothetical, at the very, very end, I thought I was right, and I thought it was your wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't. It was somebody else.
Wow, who was it?
I don't want to give away the whole story. I'm going to save some for season 2.
It's been out.
Wait, what show are we talking
There's
about?
a hypothetical. I'm just saying if Big T,
someone should make that a show though.
That's what I'm saying. That show, quick Chicago PD.
Would Big T be presumed innocent if this were the hypothetical that actually happened? Also, Big T, in this hypothetical, you're a very, very attractive human being.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some would argue that's already the case.
Yeah. Also, in this hypothetical, you dated Taylor Swift.
Okay, got it.
Let's go.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
You left.
How did that end?
Well, that's how they caught you. Actually, you were guilty because they found the scarf.
You said I was innocent.
They found,
All too well.
They found the scarf and it had all the DNA on it, consistent with a broken heart.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, in the Salem witch trial, you would be. It was smart to plead guilty to witchcraft, and you know how they would check you if you were accused of being a witch. They would check to see if you had marks on your body. They would look for your witch's teat. And so that would be like if you had a skin tag or a third nipple, hypothetically, and they saw that on your body, they would try to cut it and see if it bled. And if it was like a skin tag or a growth that didn't bleed, then they were like, yep, you're a witch, because that's not natural on your body.
You'd be cooked.
Yeah, they would give you like a full physical and look for every part of your body.
Did no dude in Massachusetts ever have a skin tag?
They weren't checking dudes.
They weren't checking dudes, yeah.
Well, no, first of all, we will get into that. That's very sexist and incorrect. But secondly, I'm saying like the dudes that were presiding over the trials, did none of them ever be like, hey, y'all not going to believe this. I actually have one of these fucking things.
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
I don't know. I think at the time you just kept your mouth shut.
I guess.
Because if people were accusing everybody, you're like, I don't want to be the next person to get accused.
Yeah.
And then you go home, have a long, hard look in the mirror, and you're like, maybe I'm a witch.
It'd be like those pedo chaser dudes who end up being pedos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which to me, okay, tell me if this is a hot take, bro. All right.
That's a great lead in.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Like, I don't think you're gonna find a soul that disagrees with pedophilia, right? Publicly.
Wait, whoa. Say that again?
That disagrees with, that thinks it's wrong.
What?
No, keep going.
That thinks pedophilia
you're
is
almost there. Flip it. You won't find a person that thinks it's good.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Holy shit. No. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no. I was picking up what you were putting down.
That's
It was
good.
just
Good teammate.
That was great. That was great because that clip could have been wild. Bro.
Yep.
That could have haunted me for generations.
Yeah, I gave Arian Waters a nice handoff there.
Arian Waters. That just sounds fire, dog.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's just way smoother.
Would Waters have been a different number?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
I feel like Waters is a single digit.
well, if Foster would have been a single digit if they allowed us to do that in NFL when I was there.
Waters is 20. That way you can be like H2O.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Had it
That's
cooked,
good.
BFT.
But in my mind, I can't explain why, but Waters is a 3 to me. I can't explain it.
That.
You'd be faster if your name was Waters.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Some names look good with numbers in your mind.
Yes, no, for sure.
Yeah. Man.
Like
okay.
say a last name and I'll tell you what number.
Okay,
they
okay.
are.
I like that. Okay. Swan.
Oh, Swan's a 5.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Let's do
And are we assuming all these guys are skill position players?
yeah, it gotta be. Nobody
Okay.
cares about what lineman numbers
Yeah.
they wear. Except when they're single digit linemen, offensive and defensive linemen in college when they wear single digit numbers. That's just the worst shit. I hate that shit.
I agree.
Unless it's a defensive end.
No, I still don't like it.
Nah. Like when Kleiner was like number 7 or something like that, right? That looks sweet. D end, I'm okay with that.
UT's got a guy this year who's he's number 10. I'm looking up his
I hate that.
I'm looking up his measurements right now because he
can't
is
stand
a
it. Can't
comically
stand it.
large human being.
We're
'Cause you too
99
big.
like a man.
Yeah,
He
you too big,
is
bro.
6'2", 340.
You don't need
Elijah
to be in
Simmons
10.
number 10.
I would say it to his face.
That's a sweet, like slim number, dog. You got to be able to get active with that one. Not
Yep.
stop the run.
All right,
That's
give me
gross.
2 more names.
I got you. Let's go with Fletcher.
Ooh, Fletcher. First thing that came to me was 13.
Okay.
I'm seeing
not-
13 on
I'm
Fletcher.
not bad at that. Okay.
I could see Fletcher 13 like a slot receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
Let's go with the regular Jones.
Well, immediately my mind goes to Chipper Jones, who was 10. But if it's a Black Jones, Black Jones is 6.
Okay. Black Jones is
White Jones is 10.
I got you.
Are you saying that they're 3/5?
No fucking way. No fucking way. Oh,
Wow. What the fuck was that, Big T?
there is no fucking way.
The amount of time that you concocted that joke is so
Oh.
impressive, dog.
That's crazy.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
That shit is fucking holy.
Wow.
Hey,
Hey, sometimes the universe just sets you up for one.
oh my God.
Are we allowed to leave that in?
Yeah.
I feel, but I feel like
That's
one of the greatest.
that joke's
that's one of
fucking
his-
staying in
no,
this
it's a
podcast.
great joke, but I feel like it makes me look bad.
You know, you just have subconscious racism.
No, you can't argue that because you had to simplify that fraction. That's a step further.
Yeah, so it runs deep with you.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where like Big T's internal math is racist.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my God, what a fucking joke. PFT, that hang that one in the Louvre.
Sure,
That
yeah.
is fucking hilarious though. What was my original point? Pedophilia.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Do not,
Wait,
do not,
restart
real
it.
quick before you start, do not clip that.
Are you serious?
Do not clip that.
Bro, that is one of the funniest
No,
things
no,
I've
no, 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 no,
ever-
Hey.
no. I've dealt with enough.
We're clipping it.
Oh, please.
Do not clip that.
We're
Air-
clipping it.
Or
I think we-
PFT
I think
and
we
Arian
have
are
to-
my boss.
I think
so.
we have to clip it. That is one of
No.
the funniest.
No, you
That's
can't clip.
one of the-
Listen, it's very funny. I agree, but these people, they'll come after you.
Nah, they ain't gonna
They
come
come after
completely
man.
right.
They
You won't even
got
see
for
it.
that one.
Big T, lighten up.
I'm not the one that has a problem with it.
I don't think that you're wrong, by the way. I think that those are great numbers.
All right,
We
whatever.
all agreed. I
Go-
agree.
yeah.
It's just the joke was so on point.
It felt like we wrote that entire thing out.
Bro, the imagination for him to pull all of this historical and then conversation, bro, that shit is genius.
Listen, I'll be honest. It was very lucky that Big T chose those exact numbers.
I can't fucking believe it.
Yeah,
That
but
shit's amazing, dog.
Now
Alright.
that you said wrote it, people are gonna think that was a bit.
no, we don't do bits.
I know.
Anyways,
but people are
back to
gonna
when
think
you
it.
were presumed innocent earlier on
Uh-huh.
this show.
Wait, hold on. My pedophilia point. This is why.
Yeah,
we're trying to-
We're
restart
all
it.
over the place.
Please restart it so that we can get this. What were you saying about pedophilia?
You're not gonna find a soul that thinks pedophilia is a right course of action. For
There
your
you go.
desire.
Mhm.
All right. So the people that like, I think To Catch a Predator was like the first time that ever happened, right? And so I think it was initially interesting, right? Because we've never saw them in real life, in real action like that before. And so it was like interesting. And then now what's happening is they're setting people up. Random people are setting people up, right? So it's not like they're not working with law enforcement. It's just like random people setting up dudes on these sites. And like I said, you're not gonna find anybody that believes this is a good thing. But I just find it kind of weird. And I'm not really a fan of these like solo sting operations, man. Am I alone
No,
there?
no.
I find it suspect.
It's weird. It's weird. I'm all for like exposing people who are pedophiles and having them be labeled as like a danger to the community. If you got a family, you should know if somebody is actively trying to do this stuff. But it is weird, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the streamers, where it's like, how do you get the most views possible? Oh, we're just going to do our own version of To Catch a Predator, where we have like what's the guy's name, Vitaly, that's just like showing up.
That's the one.
And then he's
yeah.
got like celebrities like behind him coming out and be like, "Fuck you, fuck you." Like
So
it's
weird,
It's not
dog.
really. It's not productive. It's just for their views. And I know that sometimes if you're trying to prosecute the pedophiles, you make it harder on the police if you do this sting on your own outside their operation, where all the shit that you do, they can't admit it into court. Legally, it becomes more challenging for police to do anything. There have been times where they've like the police have partnered up with what's that company? Perverted Justice. Is that the guy's what's his name? Brian what's the guy's name from To Catch a Predator?
Chris
We had him on the show. Chris Hansen. Yeah,
Hansen.
thank you. I was going to say Brian Williams. That's not him. He probably says that he's done it too. But Chris Hansen he had his organization that worked with the cops, but sometimes that even made it harder to actually get them arrested and to put them in jail. It is weird that it's become like something that people watch for fun, right?
Yeah, and this the whole like I said, I think the initial To Catch a Predator was interesting because you never saw it before. And like I understand that interest, but like now, if I'm constantly like consuming that content, that's just odd to me. And then, they're in like it's a weird thing to critique this work because it's like you sound like you're like, oh, you don't want pedophiles to be caught. Like, nah, dog. Like I said, you're not gonna find anybody that agrees with that lifestyle choice. But it's just I just find it so suspect to either enjoy it on a regular basis or to even do it. on a regular basis. It's just all very weird to me, dog.
Yeah. Like you become obsessed with it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like if you watch a lot of those that you have those proclivities, like you are a pedophile. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you watch a lot of them, you're obsessed with watching content that just makes you mad all the time, which is tough content to watch.
I mean, I think there's an argument to be said is that if you're constantly consuming that content, I'm not, yeah, maybe you're not, but you have to have some kind of quirk to you to where that's drawing your attention. Like, why is that? So, I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just, the whole shit I find weird, dog.
It's a weird genre, yeah. Very strange genre.
Yeah, but anyway.
So back to the witches, there were a bunch of tests that they could do besides checking you for the witch's teat, which was something that you'd have on your body, and then they said that you would like use that. That's a part of your body that you would feed people with, like your blood would come out of there, or your evil witch spirit would come out of your witch's teat. There were other tests. There was the witch cake test, which ties back into Tituba, because they had Tituba do the witch cake test. That was when the witch was told to bake a cake with her victim's urine and then feed that cake to a dog. And dogs were considered faithful to witches. So if the dog had adverse effects and the effects of the afflicted person continued, it proved that the witch was guilty of witchcraft. So Tituba, she did the witch cake test. She got like the piss from one of these girls that was claiming she was manipulating them or casting spells on them, baked a cake out of it. I don't think anything happened, but the people in town were like, that's fucked up that you baked a cake using child pee. So that's proof right there that you're a witch. So all these tests were basically like both roads lead towards you being a witch no matter what, if you're suspected.
So let me jump in the mind of a Puritan real quick.
Uh-huh.
We don't like witches because we feel like they're of the devil. Is there anything like specific that witches would do that they disagreed with? You know what I'm saying? Like they thought, like obviously, like did they cast spells on people, like that type shit?
Yeah, if you acted violently or if you acted with lust, then you could say it's the devil's spirit that's getting into me, and then you could blame that on a witch. Like a witch is making all the men in town fight. Or
yeah, I think it was like being possessed by like a demon.
Yeah. Or if there was like livestock that would die. So if a woman came to your house and you had a disagreement with her, let's just say that two women met at one of their houses. One of them baked a nice porridge or whatever the fuck Puritans ate back then. And one of the women was like, I don't like this porridge. They get into a big fight over it. And then one of the women was like, you're going to regret talking to me that way. Then she left. And then like 2 days later, somebody's cow died. Then that woman could be like, well, this bitch was over at my house and she said, you're going to regret talking to me like that. Then my cow died. She must have cast a spell on my cow. She's a witch.
Got you.
That sort of thing.
That's wild.
They also had a touch test. That's when the accused was ordered to touch their victim. And if the victim felt pain, then the accused was guilty. And there was an incantation test. That was if the accused witch asked the devil to remove the afflictions of their alleged victims and the victims were cured, then the accused person would be guilty.
That seems relatively fair, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, but if the person is still afflicted, do you think that's going to be like the end of the story?
Well, no, but the reasoning there is more sound than the others.
A little bit, yeah. There was another one where they would ask them to recite the Lord's Prayer in front of like a big group of people that were watching them for signs of witchcraft. And then if they stumbled at all or they forgot or they got nervous, then they'd be like, well, you're a witch. You can't say the Lord's Prayer. Sorry. There was the weight test. Witches were thought to be impossibly light, and the courts would weigh the accused against the Bible. They were a witch if they were more lightweight than the Bible. If they weighed more than the book, the court simply moved on to another test, citing the malicious power of the devil for maligning the weight test.
Humans used to be fucking stupid, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's it was a fucked up time. It was a fucked up time in American history. There was a 4-year-old that was accused of witchcraft and arrested. That was the daughter of Sarah Good. She was the homeless beggar from the first story. She was one of the first that was accused in Salem. And the 4-year-old was the youngest person to be accused of witchcraft. Under pressure from authorities, they were hoping that she would get to see her mother if she complied. Dorothy confessed to the claims that Sarah was a witch, and Dorothy had been witness to seeing her mother cavort with Satan. Dorothy, the 4-year-old, spent 7 months in prison and was released on bond after admission. And then her mother was hanged while Dorothy was in jail. What do you do with a 4-year-old in prison?
I don't know, man. I
just time out?
4-year-olds have no idea what's going on, dog.
They would have no idea. It wouldn't be probably much more of a punishment than just normal everyday life, right?
I mean, it'd be pretty boring for them.
Yeah, prison in the 1600s gotta be rough.
It'd be tough. It'd be very tough. No good food, if you had food at all.
Did they separate the sexes back then with prisons, or would they just throw them all in?
I don't know. I think you probably separated.
I bet they did.
Yeah. There were 2 dogs that were accused of witchcraft. One was shot to death. A girl suffered from convulsions, so she accused the dog of being a witch.
That's what Arian would have done.
Yep.
Most dogs are.
But good news, after the death of the dog, the local minister, Cotton Mather, declared the animal to be innocent.
I've heard his name somewhere before. What did he do?
I think Cotton Mather was a pretty famous guy. Was his dad... I think his dad had one of the all-time names. His dad's name, if memory serves, was Increase.
That is correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So Increase Mather was the guy's name. Imagine naming a baby Increase.
No.
I've heard Cotton Mather somewhere before, though. He did something.
So Mather said that if the dog was really the devil, it would not be possible to kill it. So since the dog died, Mather determined that it was not bewitched and was innocent. About the same time, another dog in Salem Village began behaving strangely. The afflicted girls of the village accused John Bradstreet of Andover of riding and tormenting the dog with his spirit. Although the dog was considered a victim, the people of Salem Village killed the dog while Bradstreet fled Andover for Piscataqua County. Dogs were also used to identify witches, like when they would try to eat the cake. And if the dog got sick, then it was proof of witchcraft. There was a common misconception about it. So I've heard this over the last few years. I don't know if you guys have heard this too. But people say that the witch trials were caused by rye bread that had been left out too long, fermented, and started to form a chemical compound inside the bread that would produce hallucinations. Have you guys heard about that?
Nah.
So it's true. There's bread fungus, and it's called ergot. And ergot is a fungus. It forms hallucinogenic drugs in bread, and its victims can appear bewitched when they're actually stoned. They're actually feeling the effects of it. And ergot thrives in a cold winter following a wet spring, and the victims of ergot poisoning have paranoia, hallucinations, twitches, spasms, cardiovascular trouble, stillborn children. Ergot also weakens the immune system. Ergot produces a chemical compound called lysergic acid. You know what that is? It's LSD.
Hey.
So people have thought maybe the entire town of Salem, they were all eating fucked up bread and they were hallucinating things, leading people to accuse others of witchcraft. I did read an article saying that that's not true. That even if that was true, it wouldn't be like the entire town would be always having this ergot poisoning. And there may have been 1 or 2 people that had bad rye, but it certainly wasn't everybody that was stoned. So apparently that's a misconception, because I'd heard about that too. Do you know why the Salem witch trials stopped?
Was it because one of the mayor's wives was accused?
Yeah, the governor's wife.
Governor's wife was accused, and he was like, let's stop this shit.
Yeah. So William Phipps was the governor of Massachusetts Bay, and he was kind of like turning a blind eye to all the witchcraft stuff. And he was like, I'm going to let them do their thing. I'm not going to be involved. I'm just going to stay over here in the corner and you guys have fun with the witch trials. I'm not going to say anything. This guy also established the court that got to judge all the cases, but he delegated all the authority to his lieutenant, which was William Stoughton. And Stoughton was encouraged by the church to be cautious but swift in his convictions. He took over most of Phipps's executive powers while the governor assisted in the fortification of Maine, and he was more concerned. The governor was more concerned about the French and Native American incursion. So the lieutenant governor really took a hands-on approach to witch trials. He's like, this is going to be my thing. Let's kill some fucking witches. And so then the governor got back, and he found his lieutenant governor made a mess, executed 20 people, condemned 8 more during the 1 week that Phipps returned. And he's like, what's going on here? They had ordered the digging of graves for the 8 newly accused witches. These accusations increased well beyond 8. Higher profile colonists were being accused of witchcraft, including Governor Phipps's wife. When Phipps learned of the allegations against his wife, he finally decreed that spectral evidence would not be permitted in the trials. The 8 witches that were planned on being convicted were cleared, and the lieutenant governor abandoned his post. And then soon after, all accused witches were pardoned and released from prison by May. So yeah, when it came to his doorstep, he was like, no, I think we're done with the witch trial thing. It was like a real life, the TikTok meme, give me my money. Everybody was like, give me, there are witches. And everyone was like, yeah. And then the last person said it and everyone was like, what the fuck?
I wonder what percentage of people listening to this understand that.
Oh, that's it. I've seen it everywhere.
I've never seen
You have to
that
be
too.
chronically online to get that. But it's good. It was good.
Do I have to, I feel like it's pretty mainstream now, right?
It has gotten to that
I
point,
guess I
think.
still consider anything on TikTok to be a mostly young man's game.
Yeah.
But like, people do be on TikTok now.
Yeah. She's a witch. Yeah.
No, my dad, I said this a couple times on this podcast. My dad sends me TikToks all the time.
Really?
All the time. It's weird, dog.
Are they
'Cause
good?
I thought the same because my kids be on TikTok. Like, my dad's following down a interesting part of the internet, man. It's a lot of conspiracy stuff. But it's like, you know who the Black Hebrew Israelites are?
Oh yeah. Those guys
It's not them.
but you can tell it's adjacent.
It's
Yeah.
It's a lot of the government is trying to, and I'm like, Pops, bro, listen, man, like we got to start fact checking some of this shit, bro.
Yeah, after like the 3rd or 4th time, there's like an Ethiopian related historical TikTok that gets sent to you. You're like,
Yeah, a lot
Where
of
are we going?
excavations. They found this, and I'm like, all right, man, all right.
the Black Israelites are some of the wildest people. It's
They may
crazy.
be the most interesting set of humans.
Interesting is one way to put it.
Well, this is why they're so interesting, because they have to spend an immense amount of time and energy to understand the Bible in the interpretation that they do, because they know more about the Bible than your average Christian by light years.
It's
right?
not even close. Yeah.
No, it's not that by light years. And in order to dedicate yourself, the Bible's a big ass book, dog. So in order to dedicate yourself to that, it takes a lot of discipline. And so that's what's so fascinating to me about them is like they're so disciplined in nonsense. And I'm not saying that the Bible is. I'm saying their interpretation of it is very problematic and it's toxic, but you dedicate yourself to that. And I guess if you're going to be about, this is what you believe, like that's how you think the Lord is commanding you to act, I guess you should act like them. That's the scary part about religion, though.
Yeah, they're deep into it. But you're right. They study the shit out of it. And then
Right.
after they learn it, they go out in public and they just start screaming at everybody. And they just their religion is to just go out on the street and get into arguments with everybody. That's all they do.
I definitely did that shit. I was in Seattle and they fascinate me. So I've been listening to their arguments. And this dude was convinced that nobody's born gay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got so when I stumped him, it was funny because he was saying nobody's born gay. He's like, it's not natural. I was like, well, you define natural. He's like, in nature, it's not natural. I was like, well, there's plenty gay animals. He's like, what's up with you and this gay stuff, man? Are you gay? I was like, nah, man.
It's a good comeback.
Like, you ran out of real estate there. But no, I guess to have that much dedication, because I know, I've read a good amount of the Bible, and to have that dedication is impressive. But it's just with the wrong shit. It's impressive with the wrong shit, bro.
Yeah, I ran into them many times in Washington D.C. when I was younger.
They think you're gonna go into enslavement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen. They say the meanest shit to you. They accuse you of being the devil. It's
you're
wild.
the devil. You're Edomite. Yeah. Edomite. Yeah. They think you are the devil.
And they'll say it to like a 5-year-old kid too.
Yes, bro. Like, you
they don't give enslaved. A fuck.
They don't care at all, bro. And that's kind of the bravado is like very entertaining to me.
Yeah.
It's they are assholes, but it's very entertaining.
Back to the witch trials here. To Big T's point earlier, it was almost all women.
Yeah, you skipped over the one thing I wanted to talk about the most.
Okay, well now you have the floor, Big T. It was mainly women that were accused, but it wasn't necessarily rare for men to be victims of these accusations.
6 of the 20 people executed in Salem, men.
Men, which
you never hear about that.
Were they warlocks?
I don't know. And actually, 20 to 25% throughout the world of those executed for witchcraft were men. And in Europe, it was like 80% in some countries.
80%.
Don't hear about it. Not all witches.
80% in Ukraine, Russia, Finland, 80% of those accused were men. A lot of women like to say that the witch hunts were an example of the patriarchy. And a lot of women say we're the daughters of the witches you couldn't burn.
There's nobody left to speak when they came for us.
Yeah, but it turns out that men were getting burned too. An apology would be nice from women for the witch trials.
Yeah.
I was going to say
30%.
Good.
Yeah.
But
30%? Would you call that a good start? Is that what you just said?
No, I was saying good. They're getting burned.
Damn. 6 of the 20. We should put that on a t-shirt. Just 6 out of 20.
We are the sons of the...
We're the sons of the warlocks.
Wizards.
The wizards you couldn't burn. Yeah.
And look at where we've ended up.
Yeah, we did it. Never again. We said never again. Exactly. And that's why we've become who we are in society.
Yeah.
We took that warning seriously. The most horrifying tale of the males being accused is Giles Corey, maybe Giles Corey. He was an 81-year-old. He refused to stand trial because if he stood trial, he was going to have to forfeit his estate to the government in the event of a conviction. So instead of waiting for him to enter a plea, the locals decided to press him between 2 stones until he died.
Aaron, I respect the hell out of that guy.
Aaron, you just put your headphones back on, so I'm gonna tell the story again. There was a guy named Giles Corey, maybe Giles Corey. He was 81 years old. He refused to stand trial because if he was convicted, he would have to give his estate up to the government. Instead of waiting for him to enter a plea, the locals decided to press him between 2 stones until he died. For days, he was tortured by the heavy weights. He had spoken out in support of his wife, Martha, when she was accused of witchcraft, and he died 3 days before his wife's execution due to his refusal to stand trial. He died in full possession of his estate, which reverted down to his heirs. So his heirs got the land and all his money, and he just had to stand in between 2 rocks for 3 days.
That guy's a patriot.
That guy's
what a great man. That's
tough motherfucker.
Man. Damn, for the jits, for the lineage, lineage, man.
Yep.
Getting pressed between 2 stones. That's tough.
That's a tough way to go.
3 days.
Tough way to go.
Yeah, I'm claustrophobic. I am absolutely claustrophobic.
That's the biggest problem with that?
Wow, man.
That's your biggest issue?
Yeah, if you're claustrophobic, it actually might be affirming for you. Because if you're claustrophobic, you think,
look what happens.
In a small, confined area, you're like, your biggest fear is that you're never going to get out. But in that case, you're not getting out. Like, small places will kill you. So then you're just like, I was right all along.
No, brother, no.
Everyone else was crazy.
That's like that. So it's affirmation. If you jump off a building, you're gonna die. You should be scared. It's not affirmation. Scary.
If I'm like scared of heights.
Yeah, I mean,
but if I'm scared of heights and everybody in the world is like, don't worry, heights they're fine. Nothing bad would happen to you.
I don't think,
at least on my way down, I could be like, see?
I don't think anybody would argue the reason why people have fears. You have a reason to have this fear.
Probably.
I told Arian when he kept talking about taking us to his old neighborhood in San Diego, and he would tell everybody and they'd kind of chuckle, ha, let's take the big white kid to this part of town. Everybody would laugh. I would say, listen, Arian knows I am willing to die to prove a point. So if something bad happens, like, obviously I don't want it to, but I'm willing for that to happen. And Arian told us, no, it's fine. And then every time there was a car that would pass by, everybody turned to make sure that we weren't nothing bad was going to happen.
It was fine. Everybody would be on
No, you told me after we left, you were like, yeah, we were in a,
That was a rough neighborhood. It was.
And before he was like, it's a great part of town.
I feel fine.
But no, see, and this was
we were literally so fine. Yeah.
This was great about Nipsey Hussle though. Nipsey said when he went to go like do missions or whatever I'm saying, like as a gangbanger, when they go do missions and stuff, it's very powerful what he said. What he said was, he said, I would go and I would pass up the Asian kid. I would pass up the dude who looked like a dork or whatever. He said, I would go look for somebody like me. And that's a very powerful statement, right? It's a very, there's a lot of depth to that. But I said that to say, well, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you over there, bro.
They didn't.
You was good. You was
Made it out.
Made it out.
But yeah, Arian, you also missed 30% of the witches that they killed were dudes. Don't hear about that.
White Christian males, most persecuted people in this country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
Even back then.
Most of the accusers were preteen and teenage girls. So we talked earlier about Abigail Williams. Williams was 11 in that first case where she accused the two Sarahs and Tituba of being witches. She piled up some stats. So Abigail Williams accused a total of 57 people of witchcraft. She gave her last testimony before the court in early June 1692. No record exists of her life after the trials. She probably just changed her name and she was like, shit, I pretty much just killed like 50 people. I should probably just peace out real quick.
There was no minimum age on what you needed back then?
No, in fact, they allowed spectral evidence until the governor of Massachusetts stepped in. So you could get into court and just be like, I feel like there's a spirit that's been afflicting me, and I feel like it's that person. So no evidence at all.
Yeah, it's tough.
And so I have to imagine that as an 11-year-old, maybe Abigail Williams made her initial accusation. She got a lot of attention. People were paying attention to her. They were like, Abigail, tell us what happened. And then when the witches that she accused of being witches were killed, then everyone was very happy with her. Thank you, Abigail. You did the right thing. So then she fed into that, and she was on high alert. So she was just accusing people left and right of being witches. She's like, I've got this great ability.
Probably had to walk a fine line as a parent back then.
Oh, yeah.
Don't piss your kid off.
Abigail Williams' parents?
Yeah.
Probably terrified of her. Yeah, you can have brownies again. Yeah. Sure. Stay up. Yeah, you want to watch cartoons? Yeah, you would,
whatever you want.
You would just make sure she was feeling good all the time. She would just look at you and you'd be like, nope, sorry, you're right. My bad, Abigail.
I kind of respect that much power.
It's a lot of, she was the witch.
Yeah.
Twist of fate. There's a 12-year-old Ann Putnam Jr. She was a member of one of Salem's biggest families. She named and testified against more than 60 people during the trials. There was 16-year-old Mary Walcott. She joined the core group of accusers, and she saw numerous visions, and she suffered apparent afflictions at the hands of accused witches. Other times she sat in the courtroom. She knitted calmly while other afflicted girls had fits around her. Of the accused witches that Walcott testified against, 16 were executed. Another died in jail. After the trials, she married a local man, Isaac Farrar. She had 6 kids. She died at the age of 77. Other young women followed suit, the oldest being 20. They accused supposed witches of afflicting them with all manner of symptoms. In reality, if the accusers were sick, it was due to contaminated drinking water rather than sorcery. The reasons for accusing their neighbors were possibly neighborly spats or illnesses they could not understand. Many accused also turned on their neighbors, believing they may have been spared if they diverted the magistrate's attentions to others. So can you imagine, like, all the shit, like, thinking back to your teenage years, preteen years, all the different, like, fights you got in, all the different falling outs you had, everything was like a big deal to you. You could just say that person's a witch. Like, teenage girls being in charge of saying who lives and who dies because of if they had a bad day. That's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, that's wild. And then you really get to off them. Like,
I have a take.
Yeah.
You know, you were talking about the feminists now. They all say we're the daughters of so-and-so. This is actually the most feminist society that's ever existed. They allowed women with no evidence whatsoever to walk around and say, kill him or her.
And him.
And they, and they just kill him.
Yeah.
That's giving power to women.
Are you saying this is what happens?
No, I'm just saying that this is a very progressive society.
The Puritans. The Puritans, by definition, extremely progressive people.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The 12-year-old girls held the power in this society. That's a fact.
They did. Listen, accusing people without evidence of stuff is not good. I think we could say across the board, right? Mm-hmm. Not good. Don't do it.
Where's he going? He's going somewhere.
I'm speaking facts right now. There were a bunch of books that were written. The Scarlet Letter, House of the Seven Gables.
Why did I have to read this? I thought that was about adultery, wasn't it?
Scarlet Letter, yeah, but it was what's the word I'm looking for? An allegory for the Salem witch trials. So it was about a woman that had sex.
No, I read it. I know what it's about. I'm just saying. Right. I thought it was about. I didn't know make the connection. I was really young when I read it too.
They accused her of being a whore, and then she had to deal with that shame for the rest of her life. But it was an allegory for the witch trial. Like, you just accuse.
It's not easy on us sexually free people, you know.
You could, yeah. Arian, you would be a witch.
No question.
You would be a witch for sure.
I'll be trying to take in the witches and be like,
witch said he could kill a wolf.
Never mind, they were young.
all the men in town would be like, the witch came over to my wife's house. He's poisoning her.
Were there any old lady witches?
Yeah, well, no, it wouldn't. If you just were with an older woman, then they would be like, hey, for some reason my wife has this spell that's been cast upon her, where now she's sleeping with Arian Foster.
And I was the witch doctor.
It must be witchcraft. Which athletes right now do you think, if you put them back into the 1600s in Massachusetts, would they first accuse of witchcraft, just based on the things they could do?
All of them. Every single one, dog.
I feel like someone in the NBA, just because of their sheer size.
That's what I'm saying. Just athletic ability. Everybody was like your size back then.
If you put Kyrie Irving in Salem, Massachusetts, and just gave him a ball and be like, hey, cross the town folk up, they would be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
I feel like he could kind of talk to him, though, and he would work his way. He'd become the judge of the trials.
Yeah, he'd get really into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. Who else? He's the first one that came to mind, honestly. Probably any of us.
Dennis Rodman.
Rodman would be a witch for sure. He might be.
Yeah, I was going to say he could be.
So witches nowadays, though, what's their vibe? What do they got going on? Because there's people who claim to be witches.
Yeah, they've kind of taken the word back, right?
Kelly Keeks claims as a witch.
Yeah, if you're
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you're a Wiccan, right? You're a witch. So what does she do? Does she do spells?
I'm not exactly sure what she does with that, but also, I mean, I don't want to get on the bad side of Kelly Keeks.
Nope.
So maybe she does have some power.
Yeah,
she does have power, but whatever witchcraft.
If you accuse somebody of being a witch nowadays, it's almost like you're giving them power.
Yeah.
Like she's like, thank you for the compliment. I do have control over your life.
Also, breaking news. Cons has written a blog titled Big T's Willingness to Skip a Sibling's Wedding to Watch College Football is Childish Behavior.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't care.
Well, Cons is the biggest wedding guy ever.
Who's Cons?
He works with us.
He does a podcast with Chaps and Kate.
Gotcha.
Cons is probably like, why are you going to skip my wedding? Cons spends 6 months preparing a suit for just like a cousin's wedding. He's got like 5 pieces, got all the accessories. That is his college football Saturdays. It's like his version of college football is getting dressed up. Bespoke Cons. Respect it. Do you want to read the blog?
No.
Okay. So yeah, that was the Salem Witch Trials. The way they would kill you, by the way, for the most part, they wouldn't really throw you into a lake and see if you drowned or see if you swam. There was some use of that to determine whether or not you were a witch, but that was like pre-trial stuff. It was mostly they would just put you on a ladder, have you walk up a few rungs, put a noose around your neck, and then they'd have you step off the ladder so you would strangle. It wouldn't snap your neck. You would just strangle to death in front of everybody. But yeah, they stopped doing that. So I guess shout out Salem, Massachusetts. Who hasn't made a mistake? Who hasn't gotten carried away in the past? All right. I guess we'll see you guys next week on nanodosing on Tuesday. No, I'll be here for nanodosing on Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm going to be in the office Monday. So we'll record maybe some voicemails for Monday.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
If you have riddles.
Arian hates them.
I know you hate the riddles.
I'm just not good at that shit, dog.
Okay, we'll do voicemails Monday. And what's that number again?
347-560-0401.
Okay. We'll see you then. Anything else anyone wants to add?
I'll get started on learning my breakdance.
People will accuse you of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys. Bye.